I'm starting it up.
Okay.
All right, everyone. We got a new episode for you guys all. And today we've got Darnell, Chanel, myself, Michelle, and Asante.
Damn, my name did not do well with any of those other names.
What is the background of your name anyways?
My name?
Yeah.
It's Swahili. It means thank you.
Really?
I'm obviously black, but then also Persian.
Oh, nice.
You are?
Yeah. You
too.
didn't even know, bro?
I didn't even know.
Oh, you didn't tell me about no Gorma Sabzi or nothing.
I can make you some fire Gorma Sabzi, bro. But my mom is Middle Eastern, so Swahili is in a lot of countries that have a lot of overlap between obviously Africa, but then also Middle Eastern populations, and so she thought the name was appropriate.
Nice.
Wait, it's Swahili for thank you?
I'm gonna start saying thank you.
You could.
Thank you.
I ain't gonna respond, but all right. But yeah, y'all want to get into it?
Let's get it.
So I had a couple questions because obviously with Chanel and Michelle, with y'all being here for the first time, one of the conversations that I think was the funniest was just the opinion question of on a first date.
Yeah. Let's get into that one.
Are you going for coffee or are you going for dinner?
Oh,
I love this question.
oh, I love it too.
I'm the one that
I love
made
it
the question, by the way.
I love it too because I just answered it the other day.
Me too.
Let's
It's
hear
always
it.
a hot topic right now.
It's such a hot topic.
Yes,
Let's
it
hear it.
is. Oh my god.
I love it.
Okay,
Put your
go.
Twitter fingers
Go,
together.
Michelle.
Okay, me?
Yeah.
Absolutely, I'm going for coffee.
Oh.
100% I'm going for coffee. And so
Okay.
here's the thing. I realize that women say, oh, it's a low effort date, right? I get that. I guess it's preference, but here's my thing. Why would I go to dinner with someone for an hour and a half? What if I don't like them? We can go for coffee. We can have a 5, 10, 15 minute
15
conversation. I don't even mind buying my own coffee. But I don't mind buying my coffee if I got there first. But if the guy got there first, then I would prefer that he did buy my coffee.
Right.
Okay.
It's a $5. I mean, I don't even drink coffee. It's like $3. The tea, right?
Right.
Thank you. I'm not gonna drink this.
But I'm all about going for a coffee date as opposed to dinner.
You
Okay.
are amazing.
Okay. So
Let's go.
okay.
Yeah.
So for me, I first want to preference this with, for me, I'm more so about coffee than a drink, right? Because I don't really drink and I'm not going to drink on an empty stomach. So, but I also kind of feel the same about coffee. Like I don't really want to drink coffee on an empty stomach. However, anyways, just in regards to what you said about a low effort date, I'm more so about a dinner, but I just had the guy I'm dating now, he did the coffee date. And it turned out amazing, but I was gonna leave within 30 minutes because that's the coffee time I have for you. Fair. So it's then after that, then I'm going to get some food with someone else or with a friend or by myself. But you're not gonna have the hour date because if you wanted the hour date, then you would have spent that money. And also, I'm not going to say take me to a 5-star dinner or whatever, or lunch or whatever. It could be literally down the street. It could be like a hole in the wall. As long as the food is good, we can go to the park or whatever. But I do love food and I'm a foodie. So I feel like if you want me to get dressed up, if you want me looking good, which I'm doing regardless, then and if you want that time with me, then that's what you should be doing. Just as I want the time with you, so I'm going to look good. I'm going to present physically great, right? Yeah. Or well, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So it's I'm gonna put the time into my and the effort into the time that I have, beforehand for you. And I'm going to give you my time. So that's how I feel.
So I have a question for that. So if you do take that coffee date, right? Or tea, because, coffee, or would you be open to, if that coffee date goes well for that 30-minute time period, to saying, hey, look, if you want, we can go grab something to eat after that instead of having to wait for the
Absolutely.
dinner.
And you know what? That's what he did. So we showed up.
That's the benefit of a coffee
Right.
date.
So we showed up
coffee
at the
date.
coffee date. As soon as I got there, then he was like, let's go get some food. Let's order you some food.
Hey.
And I was like, okay. So that changed my whole
thought process. Right?
Yes, I was
Yeah.
just like, okay, now I'm actually on, because before it was gonna, it was gonna be nice and pleasant, but short,
It's getting late.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it gives you it. So what I heard from that is the difference of expectations of going and meeting somebody for
Right.
coffee versus the expectations of meeting somebody for dinner. And Michelle, you just mentioned that I don't know you that well. I don't want to commit to being in this situation for an hour and a half before I know you.
But I think sometimes, so you mentioned the word expectations,
Yeah.
right? And so I think a lot of times we expect too much from people, right? Like, and so we expect that, like, you know,
That's so
the
true.
conversation is going to be great, like
Right.
dinner is going to be great. We expect that we're going to have such a great connection. Like, that's not always the case.
Right.
And so I don't date online. Like, I'm not an online dater. Like, so I guess if I did meet someone and we went out on a date, like, it would be, to some degree, I would have known them, I guess, at some
Yeah,
point.
exactly.
But I do recognize that, like, some women meet men on apps and, like, they're chatting. It's a little awkward. You're texting all the time. I don't know if people have had, like, conversations on the phone, but, like, I mean, I just think that sometimes expectations shouldn't really be set for.
Absolutely, but also to the coffee date versus when you said, I don't know if I want to be there for an hour. For me, I already have FaceTimed you. I've already, talked to you on the phone for a whole
Yeah.
week or
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
and you've been consistently hitting me up good mornings to even get the date.
Fair.
So for me, it's like I kind of know I'm going to enjoy to be around you. You know what I'm saying? Like I need to see the consistency.
Omid has a question
before
for
you
you.
get my time.
Omid has a question for
Yeah,
you.
we had this conversation the other day about
Okay.
how a girl I had dated, she said that she appreciates a good morning text every morning. So how do you feel about that?
Absolutely. I mean, I don't expect it because I don't expect it from people that I don't know. But if you're my man, then I expect that, or we're gonna have communication throughout the day.
How soon into the in the relationship with a everyday?
Oh,
good morning?
okay. I would say after the second date, because you kind of know what it is. I feel like.
No, I'm a proponent of things don't have to take forever for you to know that that's the one.
You know,
right?
Yeah, I feel like in every situation where I've dated a person, then yeah, it's been that after the second date or the first date. It's never been like where it's kind of like awkward until the fourth date or anything. Because it's like I'm just gonna put you in the friend zone, or we're just not gonna
when you know, you know.
connect. Yeah.
You know.
Okay.
You just gonna let that one go just that easy, huh?
What do you think?
I think to be honest, I feel like I get a lot of flack. I feel like I am a romantic.
Okay.
And I would send her not just a good morning, but like some sly, something to make her smile or whatever.
Yeah.
But I feel like as a man, we don't want to scare the girl, right? So
That's not the girl then.
Yeah.
If you're gonna scare her, then good. Scare her at the beginning because you don't want. That's not a woman. But should I say that's a girl? Because a woman is gonna know what she wants, and if she has made it known in some capacity that she wants you, then she's gonna appreciate that.
meaning
I
knowing,
can see both sides though, because
I can too.
I think that there's a level of like if somebody wakes up and is like immediately like, I have a routine, I work out, I do this, I do that, like I'm at work, and I don't necessarily like the first thing that I'm doing is not necessarily getting on my phone in the morning.
Okay.
So I think that like from a standpoint of like checking in, I think that it's important to check in with people across the board. And then I think it comes down to preference. Like, is that in the morning or is that, but I don't think that there's necessarily a quality of relationship. And I see again, both sides of like the person that like needs the constant texts
Yeah.
just as a form of
codependent
connection.
relationship.
I think that that's going to be preference based as well. I think that that could go both ways.
Yeah. For okay, so what you just said about like not texting directly in the morning, that's
Yeah.
totally fine as long as I know that as long as you have made it apparent that there is consistency in
Yeah.
when you text me. Like for sure, like I'm not expecting a 6 a.m. text, but I know for sure I'm gonna hear from him before 2 p.m.
Yeah.
Like that's all. I'm
You ain't
just
go
saying.
half
Like,
a
fair.
day and not even send me a message like you.
because
think about that, right?
I'm not like if he does text some like with my change of schedule now, then like I probably won't get to it until after I've gotten all my kids in, So it's like I'm not gonna be on my phone because parents are coming in and they're gonna look at me and so.
and just to say this, Chanel doesn't actually have biological kids. She's
Thank
talking
you.
about the preschool that she runs.
Yes, thank you for
enough.
that. I appreciate it. No kids yet. No kids.
Yeah.
Thank you.
They're gonna be like, wait a minute. She said kids, plural. How many, kids we talking about over here?
Man.
Yeah. Darnell, you want to answer that question? How many kids we talking, Darnell?
Hey,
Okay, I got a question for you guys. You run into a dude, he's a 9, but he's totally against horoscopes and zodiac signs. Like,
Okay,
He thinks it's
and?
just dumb.
Okay, I don't care.
He's still a 9?
Yeah, I don't care. I'm into it, but I don't care. If you don't want to talk to me about it, I'll talk to my homegirls about it. You know, I don't care.
Okay, do zodiac signs dictate the quality of a relationship for you?
No.
I can always pimp, like, well, you said no, so go ahead.
I don't think, well, so I'll tell you a little bit of a story, right? I have what's called I call it myself. It's like the curse of the Aquarius. I think that.
You're an Aquarius?
No, I'm not.
Oh,
I'm
I
a
am.
Virgo. But I'll tell you why I have.
Virgo. I can't stand you guys.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's heat. I love
We're
this
the
shit.
best.
No, I love you guys, but it's like
No.
you guys are so like stubborn.
So here's the thing, right? It's a very love-hate relationship, like Virgo and Aquarius.
I have
I'll
the
tell
boxing
you.
gloves in the car.
My
We can
dad is an
totally
Aquarius.
get this
Okay.
My grandfather was an Aquarius.
Okay.
My son's father is an Aquarius.
Okay.
We're not together anymore.
Okay.
My ex-husband is an Aquarius.
Wow.
Like every man that I have,
Oh my
like
gosh.
a genuine, like crazy, super,
Passion,
like just
yeah.
like.
So you think there is something to it?
I'm gonna be honest. I
got a
really
query
do.
So
Okay.
okay,
I
so
really do.
okay, can I ask some questions?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
Totally.
Well, okay. So when you say that, then like, do you think that like looking back, do you think that it was your stubbornness?
No,
Okay. Or- okay.
So
That question wasn't targeted at
I'm
all.
sorry. It wasn't.
Let me
shots
sorry.
fired.
let me just
Shots
I'm sorry.
fired.
I want to back Michelle.
10 minutes
like,
into
I
the
know
session
her.
and the shots are fired.
I want to
Asante, duck
wanna-
and cover.
I want to back Michelle up real quick, okay? You said that a lot of people in your life that you've had the romantic relationship with were of the same signs, right?
Family also.
her family
Her
too.
family
so,
also.
So relationship.
Yeah.
Okay. So I don't really believe in the zodiac stuff, but every time I meet a girl and I feel like, okay, this might be going somewhere, I'll guess her sign and I'll usually be right because it'll be the same signs as all the last girls that I dated.
Oh, so you go for the same.
It'll be like it'll be one of two. And then they'll be like, how'd you know? And they'll think like I'm some genius or whatever. And I'm like,
You're all the same.
dude, is this, yeah.
Your
You
birthday's
like
on Facebook.
What time is it? What time is it?
I'll with the month of December and September.
Okay, so
feel
like,
like-
Virgo and
Libra.
yeah.
Yeah, I had to look it up on Google real quick because I don't really know them.
December
But
is Sagittarius.
Unless it's the end of it, right? Then that could be like a Capricorn.
so just to back up what Michelle's saying a little bit, like maybe there's something to it. You know, I'm not against the
no,
whole
never mind.
astrology and the philosophers for thousands of years that were like, you know, they figured it out. But to his question, and she kind of answered it. Do you guys think that it dictates the compatibility of the relationship?
Maybe not the quality, but the compatibility of a relationship.
Yeah, I
I think it does.
it does. It really does. From my experience, yeah. Like, and but you know, I'm really attracted to Leos, but I know that it's just never gonna work. Yeah, it's just never gonna work. But
I think
yeah.
I think that there's layers that are real, and I think that there's layers that are commercial.
Fair.
I think that there's a lot of determinants to the type of character that you have and the way that you navigate the
Right.
world. And one of them would for sure be what time of the year that you're born. I mean, if you think about it, like this is a common analogy that I make, is like you have friends that have summer birthdays. And that's a mentality about your image of self, because like a lot of the time, like maybe your friends are or aren't able to make it to your birthday party. And then like the kid that has a birthday in like September or like October, like his birthday parties or her birthday parties are crazy because like everybody's there and it's really easy. So like, I think that there's a like overlap of like what that's psychologically going to do to a kid of like having that environment or having like being able to travel for your birthday because it's during the summer. Stuff like that kind of dictates how you perceive the world. And I think that there's likely a lot of other things to do with where you're born, where you will have similarities with people that are born that age, whether you're younger or older in your class, whether, you know, a lot of different things. So on a daily basis, having an understanding of like, because you were born on this day, you're going to meet somebody.
It seems like you weren't
Is that
agreeing.
commercial?
It seems like you weren't on board, and now you are on board.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
Hey, look, I say that there are going to be
Are you flipping over like a flapjack over?
no. I think that there are going to be predictable things about somebody just as much as like, you know, your relationship with your parents dictate a lot of things from a predictable standpoint about how you're going to interact with the world. There's also people that go completely the opposite direction. So what I'm saying is that I think that there's more likely than not going to be similarities based on the time of the year that somebody's born, but I don't think it dictates always, I don't think it dictates the compatibility of relationship. I think it may be something for people to look at.
Yeah, for
But-
sure. I think that you can make it work if both parties really want it to work. But if, you know, like if it's only one party and like, you know, if it's like you said, Aquarius and like Virgo or whatever, and only one party wants it to work, then it may not work based off of, you know, certain, you know, things.
Yeah.
But then also it's kind of like how they say like nature versus nurture. It's kind of like both of them play a part, like you said, but it's like not like gonna be for sure like, okay, these two can't be compatible or these two can't work.
Yeah.
You know, depending on the situation.
Yeah, like I think whether you're like if you have somebody that's like very, very extroverted and somebody that's very introverted, I think that would be more difficult than somebody
yeah.
that's I don't know enough about this shit. To
That's
even make a
interesting,
comment.
actually. So how do you feel, right? So do you feel like opposites attract? Like, is that a real thing? So, because I used to think like opposites attract, right? Like you begin dating someone and like, you're so different from this person. And it's like, oh my God, I love that you're so different from me. But then I also saw something not too long ago and it said, at first opposites attract and then they attack. So like, should you?
I can answer this just slightly. There's a difference between compatibility and
Attraction.
no, and what's it called when you add to something? Complementary.
Supplement.
So maybe like you and that person are not 100% compatible, but the difference between you guys, you complement certain areas of their life. So that I feel like that would be great, right? If two people were a boss at one area, you know, I don't know if that would be a better situation than if someone that could complement the weaknesses in the other person.
I don't know about that one because I think that it comes down to the two people. If they're willing and open and have a level of understanding, you can make anything work if you're not selfish, right? If
That's the word right there.
if you sit there and you're like, you know what, it's cool, it's fine, I'll accept that, I'll roll with that, and then you talk about the things that you actually have an issue with or that you don't like. It's kind of like some of the guys that will tell a woman that, oh my God, your food is amazing, and then he'll tell his homeboys like, man, the food is trash. But why wouldn't you be right? Why wouldn't you be honest and tell your lady that, you know, she needs to work on it? Like, oh, I don't want to hurt her feelings. So is it hurting her feelings?
But now you see
gotta eat that on there.
now you see we're getting back to Chanel's point about the compatibility based off zodiac signs, because I guarantee you would tell me that there's certain signs that are going to be more direct or
Yeah.
not.
Yes.
Wait,
Yeah.
that's a part of it, but you can be direct, but it doesn't have to come off like it's rude or abrasive.
Absolutely.
You know, you can be like, hey, look, you know what, babe, that was a great idea with
Yeah.
what you're trying to do.
I saw what you were trying to do.
I saw
What I
what you were trying
recommend
to do.
is Google.
It was a great gesture. I truly appreciate your efforts.
Dude, when somebody doesn't like the food that I cook, it makes me sad as hell because I know it's fire as fuck. And to me, that's compatibility because I'm like, you just don't have good taste.
Well, if someone told me that,
Literally. Oh my God. What were you saying?
yeah, I feel the same way. Like, I know you're lying. Like, my food is
Right.
fire as fuck.
I want to try it now because that
Yeah,
confidence.
so-
yeah. Okay.
But I think so, to your point though, I think that just so many people are so afraid of communication.
Right.
And like at the core of miscommunication is
lack of
is
communication.
conflict. Right? And so like these conflict situations happen, or like you find yourself eating the same fucking meal every time you go to her house
Right.
because you told her
You
it
told
was
her it was
good.
good and it's
So,
trash.
like, why not just be like, hey, listen, that's probably not.
you're shooting yourself in the
You know what I'm
foot.
saying? That's probably not the best. But I think that overall, I think it's just people are so afraid to communicate, and
Definitely.
whether it be communicating the truth, like whether it be just communicating on just a regular general like basis.
Yeah, you know, I had this thing. I'll tell. Do you want the honest answer or the safe answer? They'd be like, give me the safe answer. Oh, it's fine.
Bruh.
Right? And they're like, well, wait a minute. What's the honest answer? Well, it you know, it could use a little bit of flavor. It was a little dry.
Yeah.
You know, but you got to help them.
I think I can take it if you give me something good.
That's
as
what I
well
was
as
just
something
about to
bad.
say.
Right,
I was just
okay.
about to say,
Yeah.
if you say, I think maybe next time don't cook it as long, or try this other seasoning in there or
Yeah.
something.
Next time, don't cook it. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, like even in this situation, like I know I can cook, but it's like I previously, not now, but was dating someone that was allergic to garlic, and so
Allergic
it was so,
to garlic?
So it was so
That's
hard
crazy.
for me to.
Is he a
so-
vampire?
No, no, but he
Have
was.
you confirmed that
Yeah.
he was a
Well, no, but so it was just so hard because I couldn't use like most of my seasonings to where I had to like literally make certain seasonings and I had to like do it a certain way and then so it was like he was allergic to garlic and then he
he's not
didn't
the one.
and
That wasn't the one.
Nah.
and then he didn't like lemon in a lot of his dishes.
Whoa.
So I was like, whoa. Like, how are you gonna have salmon without lemon? So it was a lot. So like
You
he would
can't
be
have
like,
salmon without lemon.
thank you. And butter.
Right. Yeah.
Yes. No. So for me, it was just like, I mean, like, yeah, it was, you know, so there were certain things that he was like, oh, I don't know about this. I'm like, it was my first time making it like this. Okay. So, you know, but I could still take it. And I'm like, okay, cool. Like, I'll try it like this the next time, you know? So, I mean, we got it, you know, but yeah, like he definitely had to have those, like a conversation, like at least 2 conversations with me.
I'm sitting
about
here
my
trying to think of food that I could make without garlic,
food. Right.
Absolutely nothing.
There's not a lot that you're going to
other
make
than like
without
breakfast food.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, there's a
I
lot
put
that you're going
garlic
to make
on
with it.
Everything.
Everything.
Even if you don't have to. Yes. So
I don't know what you guys are talking about.
So
There's plenty of foods you can make without garlic.
What?
But like what?
You could make
besides
salmon
cereal.
without garlic. you
can't.
could make
I don't think so.
It's a part of the
Persian
seasoning.
food without garlic.
Really? What
Actually,
you can make steak
you know
without
what?
garlic, chicken without garlic.
There's a lot of Persian food that doesn't have garlic.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. Well, that's good to know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean, you're not dating this guy anymore.
So if you-
why
Right.
do
So
you
I don't
need to know
care.
that?
Never mind. I don't even care. Right. Right. Thank you. Thank
You
you.
don't even need to know that food anymore.
Never mind.
Throw that whole menu out.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Back to what we were saying though, the crust of that, man, is if you have, it doesn't matter if it's left or it's right, you know, but if you communicate what you like, dislike, and have an understanding, anybody can get together and make it work.
Yeah.
All right, you guys, this conversation is great, but we got a ton of questions to get
Okay.
to. So he's a 9, but he doesn't want kids. What is he now? A 4, 5?
He's not
a
even in the
12.
radar.
He's not on the radar? He's a 12? So you're okay with that, but Chanel is at a stage in her life where she wants a family. So I
Not
totally
right
get
now,
that.
like in 3 years.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
But yes, you know, like, I mean, if it was completely off the table, no. If it was like, oh, you know, just, you know, we'll see. Because for me, like, I would say, like, finding the right person is more important than having a child because I'm fulfilled in that area with children because of what I do for a living. However, of course, like, later on in life, I know I'm going to want them. So I wouldn't want it to be off the table, you know, like, for sure, no, like a hard no. But ultimately, like, my person is more important. Like, finding my person is more important than having children because I don't want to be, you know.
Okay, other people, she's a 9, but she doesn't want kids.
It completely depends on where you're at in your life.
You, personally.
Me personally, I like Chanel said, I don't know that yet. I would just need to meet somebody. But you know, to the point, I think that I'd be more curious to know if it's possible to make a relationship work if one person wants kids and one person doesn't.
Yeah,
That's a real serious
it's not.
question.
It's not.
don't
John
think it's
Cena
possible.
tried to do it.
Who?
John Cena.
A lot of people have tried to do that at times.
I haven't seen John Cena in a long time.
Yeah,
though.
they had a show about it. Him and his girlfriend, and she really wanted children. They were like head over heels in love with each other, but he was not going to get married again or have children. And they tried to come back like multiple times. Now she's married with a child. So, yeah.
Heart wants what the heart wants.
So, Michelle, you said no. Why? I mean, you said 12.
Well, So we're in two different
Yeah.
places, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm a lot older.
I feel like Darnell could agree with you
You're
too,
not
because you
older
have
with
kids already
Yeah,
too,
so
right?
I was gonna say I already have a son who's 13, and so at this point in my
You don't want to start back over.
I wouldn't want to start over.
Right.
Like he
I
like
understand,
my
yeah.
son will go in the kitchen, grab a steak,
Ooh,
and make it on the
perfect
stove.
age.
Right.
Like I can't see
You done cook
myself
that- you done
changing
taught that boy how to cook a
diapers.
steak?
Oh, he can cook anything.
Oh, okay.
But like,
What's his name?
Marcos.
I'm gonna need his phone number. You know, so I
Yeah.
can get
Does he
that
want to
steak.
work at the daycare?
He's really good with kids. He has
Okay.
two little. He has 3 siblings on his dad's
Oh,
side, and he's like really
nice.
good
I
with
love
them.
that.
There you go.
But
That's what's
so,
up.
but then the other side to that too is that like if I were to meet someone and I was like, oh my god, like I love this person, they wanted to have kids, like I would completely be open to that. Like if
Right.
if I was in a relationship where I was like, oh, absolutely, I want to have this man's baby, then like, sure, no problem. But
Yeah.
right now, where I'm at mentally, I'm fine. With
Right.
it if a guy didn't want to. Have kids.
Right. Okay. Nice.
I also think looking at a relationship is very different if that's going to be somebody that you decide to have kids with versus not, because co-parenting is a huge part of a relationship. And so that adds a factor. If like if
That's
you're
a
not
whole
interested in
nother
having
conversation.
kids, that's a very different relationship again than if somebody you want to be the parent of your kids.
I
Can
wish I
you
would've known
give
that
an
13 years
example? Are you
ago.
talking about like
Man.
are you talking about from like Michelle, or like what do you mean? Can you give an example?
I can give several examples.
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
So it comes down to the way you were raised,
Okay.
your background, your beliefs, and parenting style, right? I can believe in parenting one way because of the way that I was raised,
Right.
or the way that I wasn't raised.
Right.
Michelle can believe in a different way, right? She could have, and so if you have two people that don't see eye to eye on how to raise the
Oh,
kids,
okay. How to raise a child.
Yeah.
right? It's a constant,
Oh, yeah.
continuous
Oh, yeah.
battle and
Like
fight.
spanking versus not,
Exactly.
and like yeah.
Or,
Okay.
oh, you just gonna let little Timmy throw that up against the wall without getting on him about that, or
Are
checking
you gonna
him
let
on
him
it?
have that tantrum in
Right.
the restaurant?
In the restaurant, in the store. You're just gonna sit here and watch your son
Yeah.
beat his mother over the head with a paper plate.
There's a lot of
because
things
she took-
before that, Darnell,
Right.
that happened that are okay, like not okay.
bro. It's,
Right.
Like,
Seriously,
how did it get there, bro?
that's my
It
point.
doesn't matter. He's gonna get it in the car.
No, he finna get it at the table in the grocery store and in the restaurant. Man, we finna have this conversation right here and right now.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do it in the store.
feel like-
I would do it.
150% will do it in the store.
I feel like I feel
So
like
you guys maybe shouldn't raise kids together, all right?
right.
That's what we're
Make
getting
sure you
to.
don't have a baby.
So and here's my thing is this: I believe in disciplining a kid in a moment, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
So you just got in a restaurant or you just got in a store, right? You're in that store for 30 minutes to an hour or whatever, right? So then you want to try to discipline your kid when you get
Yeah,
in the car.
but you could give him that look in the moment and put that fear in his heart. You know, like he
that
already
should
knows
be the
what's
discipline.
coming.
Well, that should be the discipline then, right? Because then it shouldn't be like, whereas, the way I was raised, my mom would be like, hey man, look, when I get home, that ass is mine. So you sitting there
You need to talk about some stuff, bro.
watching the clock, dreading to see that door open up. You know what I mean? Like when she come in that door, you shaking in your boots because you know what's about to happen. You understand? This was old school discipline.
Anticipation.
Man, that anticipation. But then she'd throw you a curveball and she would just walk right by and wouldn't say nothing. And so now for the next 2-3 days,
Ooh,
you're waiting.
you're waiting.
So
Looking
does
over your shoulder.
wasn't that a good tactic on her part?
Yeah, but sometimes that came back like a boomerang.
Right.
Well, my therapist has talked about how
Right. That like sounds like a lot of anxiety.
That thing came back like a boomerang sometimes, man. Sometimes it'll be, now you didn't put something back the right way, and those days done stacked up on top of that whooping, and now you get it.
She would just give you that look, huh? Like,
Oh, she always had that look. She said, man, my mom wore these glasses, man, and she'd just be sitting there and look, you see her eyes squint behind them glasses, and you be like, oh shit. And, kids be like this, look, is she still looking?
all right, you guys.
Oh man.
He's a 9, but has a terrible relationship with his mother.
Oh, honey, nope. You can't do that.
Do you know the reason why he has a terrible relationship? It doesn't matter.
To be honest, I've tried to look past that, like if the reason was good enough,
Mm-hmm.
right? but it always came back on me. It's like, if you can't love, like, it just, I got it. You know what I'm saying? In a relationship.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and I'm not saying like anything extreme, like, or like any violence or anything like that, but just like, I would say maybe even the lack of respect, or the lack of respect maybe for the relationship. So for me, I always tried to like give it a go. Like, if, you know, like I had a,
Let me make it a little bit tougher though. He's a 9. He doesn't have a terrible relationship with his mother, but he just has a very limited relationship with his mother.
He may not understand my relationship with my mom then. He may not understand that, like, I talk to my mom all the time. He may like later on in life, if I want to help my mom out, he may not understand that. Or like, if I'm like, I want my mom to like,
That's
you know,
a real thing.
like live like with me and help, you know, for the first 1 or 2 years with the baby or whatever, right? Like, he may not understand it. So then we would have to have those conversations, and I would have to physically see him with my mom, with his mom. And like, we'd have to, like, if I love him, like, and we're already in love, then like, okay, we'll try to, you know, make it work and see, you know, but I would not marry that person until I know, you know?
Yeah, definitely. For the guys, she's a 9. How about you, Michelle? He's a 9, but doesn't have a relationship with his mom.
I think overall, I think it just depends why, right? So in my last relationship, we started dating, and he didn't have a relationship with his mom or his dad, which for me, I think family is a huge part of just like not being in a relationship, but I think it does affect a lot of things, right? So, but I think it could be the other way around too. It could be that a guy has too good of a relationship with
You know,
his mom.
I was just gonna say that in the Persian culture, we have like a saying for that. It's pretty much like called like golden dick. Like the mom raises up the child so like pampered that, and then so like sometimes the girls get turned off. They're like, why is your mom so, you know, like, why doesn't she ever reprimand you? Why doesn't she ever, you know? So yeah, I was just gonna.
Which leads to him having certain type of behaviors too.
Yeah.
But I think
way.
that so I did date a guy one time, it was a while ago, and he was really close with his mom, but his mom didn't like me. He was Asian, I'm not Asian. And so like it just didn't work out because we could never do anything and his mom approve of it, right? And so in my last relationship, he didn't have a relationship with his mom or his dad. So I was like, listen, this isn't really gonna work, because if we end up having kids together, like I want my kid to know their grandmother, I want them to know their grandfather, like I don't want them to grow up in a stressed situation, so you have to figure this out. And so we worked through it for him to figure out how to have a relationship with his
that
parents.
touches on Chanel's point too, is that like, okay, yeah, maybe he doesn't have a super, but how is he going to interface, right, with my mom, and you know, what's his understanding?
I think
of that?
it,
The level of
it does
understanding
depend.
becomes different at that point also.
Yeah.
Because if you don't understand about that relationship, when your mom or your dad calls in the middle of the night or 4 or 5 times a day, or asking you for help or asking you to do this, you're gonna be like, man, why is your mom almost calling just you to help? Why is it, you know, and it becomes that back and forth. Instead of that openness, like, look, hey man, that's your mom, go ahead and take care of your mom or your dad.
But I have to say, okay, so like I'm all about family. I'm all about you being close with your mom. And I think if you weren't, that would be a red flag for me. But one thing that does kind of get on my nerves is I don't like you having to go and consult and ask for permission from your friends and your family for our things in our relationship. Not that I want to make the decision. I want you to make your own decisions, because, you know, a lot of families, I feel like, can get broken apart by what the siblings say, what the mother and the father's opinion is. So I just want her to think for herself. But otherwise, yeah, I'm all about the family unit.
That goes back to what I said before, where the difference, remember we talked about before social media, right? When your relationship was private.
Yeah.
Your relationship stayed between you and the person that you're in a relationship with. Now you see it all on, everybody's on social media. Oh man, you know, I have this problem with my boyfriend and my girlfriend, and I don't know what to do.
Dude, that's a whole other problem.
Oh
though,
my God,
because-
bro, it's ridiculous. You got people that don't even understand what a real relationship is, trying to give relationship advice.
And they don't know the context either.
And they don't know the backstory. They're hearing one side of it, right? And so when you get just the one side of it, okay, well, no, he's wrong, she's wrong, and you're right, or he's right, but you don't know the ins and outs and the details of the whole totality of what's going on in that relationship. So how can you speak to it? You know what I'm saying? So, and the other side of it is when you allow family members or friends to get involved in your relationship, they have a biased opinion about the person you're with. When you forgave them for whatever happened, they won't. Oh, you still with him or her? Oh, man, I thought you was gonna get rid of them. You know, because of what they did. Oh, well, we made up. Oh, I'm still mad at them. You know what I mean? So now you got the problem where now y'all can't go out. You can't, I can't go to your mom's house because, you know, your mom's still mad at me about what happened, or your dad, or, you know. Wow.
Well, that was the Titanic. You still mad?
I know what it was. I know what it was.
I also think too, like growing up, right? Like I think I have a great mom and a great dad, but like some people just have really toxic people in their family.
Yes.
And so like for someone to cut out their mom or cut out their dad, like for a specific reason, like I think that's fair too, right? We forget that like sometimes parents suck really bad. Like not everyone is given like amazing parents.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I have a question.
Go for it.
So would everybody agree or disagree that all family has to be related to you?
No.
Yeah, like to her point, like sometimes you could cut the toxic people out, you know, and your friends could be a better, you know, they can show you more love than your own family.
You haven't said anything about this.
Yeah, stop being so politically correct.
I think Darnell has a follow-up question. But no, I mean, I think that people's families are different, but I think it just comes down to like whether they have really put thought into that and what they want for their own family situation. Because like you said, somebody, you know, people can't always control who their family is.
Yeah.
Well, you can never control who your family is,
control
but
nobody except yourself.
yeah, but you know, like I've met incredible people that had really, really difficult upbringings. And I've met really, really awful people that had really great upbringings.
Right. Yeah.
And so, and you know, completely different family values. I mean, even if you look at like the difference between, you mentioned some Asian cultures, right, are like incredibly like multi-generationally family oriented. And then like in the United States, you know, when parents get older, like a lot of people here just put their parents in retirement homes if they have the money. And like both of those things culturally are seen as like positive, like taking care of people. But like, you know, so it's not always just the relationship. It's kind of just like has, in my opinion, from what I've seen, is more of has somebody processed their relationship with their parents in the way that it affects their life.
Yeah, I think, okay, so then in my situation, I feel like I would give it a go maybe if they had therapy or they were willing to get into therapy, you know? And that would be like the first thing, like one of the first things I would ask before getting into a relationship, like, are you open to therapy, period, you know?
Or like marriage counseling or something.
Oh yeah, like, yeah, it all, like all of that, all of it.
What do y'all think about therapy?
It's a go for me. Let's
Whack. not whack to you, whack to the question. Therapy, I don't know, like I just think that what's a therapist gonna say to me that I really need to hear? He doesn't know me the way that I know myself. You know, I know a lot of my own shortcomings, and so I feel like he's a stranger, you know.
But sometimes you need a stranger because although they don't know you,
Unbiased opinion.
Although they don't know you, they know your shortcoming behavior, and they've dealt with that, and they've went through school, like schooling or whatever, gotten certifications on that type of behavior, and so they know how to better manage it, so they don't have to.
There's a misunderstanding about therapy in general, in my opinion, because you're a lot of people think that you're sitting down with somebody so that they can like just talk to you about different stuff and give you advice.
Diagnose you.
Right. But like that is a part of therapy that could be really important for people, but there's a whole other element where like the brain is a muscle. We're developing, right? And so for a guy, we all met in the gym, I think. For you that works out all the time, do you think that there would be a benefit of having a trainer come in and tell you how to work on your muscles?
I wanted to make that point. Okay. I would be more receptive to a mentor's diagnosis of me than a therapist. I think the therapist has a lot of biases on how he was trained. And
Or she.
Yeah. Or
Thank you for that correction.
So I feel like if I was going to look to anybody for advice on how I can become better and analyze my shortcomings, it'd be somebody that is already where I want to be, somebody that has been through the trials and tribulations,
Right.
Yeah.
and can pinpoint. And I will be super receptive to everything
But
they say.
that person, to your point, Chanel, has not necessarily been through schooling that trains you about the way that different experiences impact your brain psychologically. Unlocking that is a practice.
Yeah.
I think therapy would be great for traumatizing situations,
Okay.
but I don't think I have a traumatizing.
But can I
kinda-
say something?
Yeah.
I feel like a mixture between what me and you're saying would be, or even you are saying, is like someone that maybe looks like you, maybe that has your background. Like you said, someone that could possibly be a mentor, but it doesn't have to be someone that you necessarily know. Like for instance, if you're like, wow, like I met this person and like they have this, and this going for themselves. This is the direction I want to go for myself. I'm about to, get into a relationship with this woman or whatever, and he's married, happily married 20 years, like, and he's just happens to be a therapist. Why not? Like, because they have the training, they also have the life that you want to mirror, and they have maybe your background. Like for me, I would want to go to someone Black, like
Yeah, if I was gonna go to somebody 100%, I'd have to kind of vet them and be like, look, I do.
But that's part of the process. Just as much as it is, again, working out with a physical trainer.
right.
A bodybuilder still needs a trainer,
That's deep. I didn't know that.
Definitely.
right?
Yeah,
Because what happens is you can't push yourself as hard as somebody else is gonna push you, or you hit a wall in the process. So somebody else knows, like you said, somebody that knows how to trick the muscles in a different way, tweak it in a different way. They have a different level of understanding of what you're trying to accomplish.
And any of these things, any practice. I mean, you look at like people who are the greatest at the things that they do, they have mentors.
They have mentors.
You look
they
at
have
somebody,
trainers.
again, from a physical standpoint, you look at, best shooter of all time, in my opinion, Steph Curry.
Steph Curry.
You know how many trainers that dude has?
No, I'm just kidding.
You know how many trainers he has?
That's deep.
So if you're working on yourself in any way, whether you're trying to become a better shooter or you're trying to process things better or you're trying to work on relationships that you're having, there is somebody that can help you work on that.
Yeah. That's
There's
deep.
always somebody that can. There's always somebody that's going to be able to give you a different level of enlightenment.
Yeah.
That you
You know
can
what I
unlock,
mean?
yeah.
And it could be the same thing that somebody else was saying to you. They're just going to say it to you differently, and you're going to receive it differently. It's kind of like, and I guarantee you're going to agree with me on this. I can tell my son something 5 times, and he'll forget it, not understand it, or not receive it. Asante can come in and tell my son something 1 time. He'll be like, okay. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. But that's because I communicate better than you do.
Thank you. I appreciate the higher level of intelligence that you have in communication.
That's real. That's real.
But
it hit different.
In seriousness,
No, really.
but that goes back to like long time ago when they said it took a village to raise a child, right?
Absolutely.
Because the parents, they speak in the same voice. The aunties and the uncles, the grandparents, they speak in a different voice, right? Your cousins, your older siblings, they tell you, look, come on, man, you being stupid. Just stop doing this or do it this way or that way.
And even for you as you learn, I'm not in this position, obviously as a parent, but you learn each of your children and the way that they receive information, and
it's
you
all different.
adjust the way that you
It's
communicate the same
Oh my
message to
gosh.
them,
it's
right?
all so different.
And again, in this conversation, that is what you want to get out of a therapist, is somebody that they're training and they're this and they're that, suits you. And maybe for you, it's mentorship and the overlap and, somebody who's Middle Eastern and whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
But I think that,
He's still not on board.
Right.
it's not important. Y'all are crazy.
I think therapy is a scam.
I think therapy is a scam in a lot of ways, but, there's a lot of personal trainers that are scamming people.
Right.
But no, I just want to say, if I went through something super traumatizing, then I would go, right? But I
But you
just
would
don't.
still have to find the right person that's going to unlock that for you so that you can be understanding and receptive to it, though.
Yeah.
That's where the difference comes in.
I just feel like a lot of people go just to go.
Matter of fact, I'm gonna switch it up for you. I'm gonna let it hit home a little bit tighter for you, right?
Maybe.
Oh, trust me.
Just go.
Okay.
I messed up the whole software thing.
So check this out. When you started thinking about how you wanted the flow to go for the podcast, right?
Yeah.
You had a vision, right, of the personalities that you want, the audience that you want, and how you see it going, right?
Yeah.
But that only comes together when you get the right type of people, right? If you, like you just said, the way it was when your homeboy was sitting in here and he was, it was like, hey man, what do you think? It's you want people in here that's going to engage in the conversation without it being like it's forced.
Yeah.
It's the same difference.
Yeah. I agree. But
Next conversation.
next, yeah.
Let's go.
Oh, you just want to move on for it. We're going to put a pin in that. We're going to come back to that one.
Yeah.
I got selective hearing, bro.
I see.
Yeah, you can work on that in therapy.
Right.
Okay, she's a 9, but
Won't go to therapy.
He's yeah. I'm playing. Yeah, she's a 9, but won't go. He's a 9, but he wants to get married after 6 months.
Okay. So prove it. Prove it.
Yeah, well, I commented on something the other day. My parents, my dad asked my mom after 9 months.
Yeah.
And they've been together for 36 years.
I hear a lot of stories like that. So now I'm like, okay, I did meet someone that was like, oh, we should be married in 6 months, not engaged. Like, I mean, I think that's what you said then, right? But he was just like so pressed. And I was like, oh my gosh, like I was scared, But I feel like if it's going well and
Trying
then
to get a visa or something? Man, what we doing here?
and he wasn't, but like it was really weird to me. And then I started figuring out why, like he's a little off, right?
I need y'all to give your true opinions and don't tiptoe around this. Because we just stated what we thought, right?
What conversation have I ever tiptoed around?
Can I
I think you're tiptoeing right now.
I feel like this.
Never.
Listen, if a guy is straight up gonna tell me I want to get married in 6 months and you don't know me, there's a difference. If you don't know me,
Right.
I'm scared.
Definitely.
Right? Definitely scared. But if, for
He
instance,
waited
like,
6 months and then you guys felt it, then he said it.
oh yeah,
That would be different
Yeah.
for you.
yeah.
I think it goes
For
back
sure.
to what you even mentioned before, like when you know, you know.
When you know, you know.
And I think,
But
We said
and
that
that's
already.
it's a real thing.
Yes.
Right? Like
We-
so I've been married and like we were engaged after 6 months of dating. I probably knew that I was gonna marry him 30 days in. Like
Wow.
we knew.
Head over heels, right?
Head over heels. Like,
Yeah,
we
yeah.
knew.
When you know, you know.
But so then the other side of that too, right? We were engaged after 6 months, but then we ended up not setting it. We were engaged for 5 years, and I think that's also telling too, right?
Okay.
And so like I ended up getting married anyway, knowing that I probably shouldn't have.
Got it.
Put a
So
pin
I
in
think
that one.
because when you know,
You know. Yeah.
and half of the people that end, or most people who end up getting divorced, like all say the same thing, that the moment that they walked down the aisle or the moment that they got married, like they knew at that
They made a
time
That's
they
my
shouldn't have
greatest
done
fear.
Yeah,
That's my
yeah.
greatest fear. Oh my gosh.
that. Yeah.
I think man plans and God laughs.
Yeah.
So true. So true.
So,
There-
okay.
there's a saying something like that.
But wait, the guys didn't answer.
Yeah, Santi,
Yeah,
let me
the
hear
guys
that.
didn't answer. And you know what? I want to put you guys on blast right
Yes.
now because on the first podcast that we did, y'all were saying there's no way that you can find out that early.
That's not what I said.
That's we can
I
play
haven't
it
said
back.
a word yet.
We can play it back.
We could definitely
Because I
play it
said,
back.
when you know, you know.
Ooh.
I think the girls
Darnell
are here
did
and
say
you're
that.
just agreeing
No,
with them
because,
now.
Bro, not, that's not
Darnell said that because Blue and I both were like, no.
No. Okay. And you
Yeah,
said
I was
no?
like, man, when you know, you know. When you
say-
know, you got that little feeling, and you with them, and you're like, okay, man, we vibing, we rolling together. Everything is it's not forced. This
Yeah.
the person that you want to be with. This the person that you wake up thinking about, you go to bed thinking about, right? You know that, like you said, when you had that initial conversation, when you're talking to them, either you're having coffee, you're having dinner or something, everything just kind of flows, right? So then you're like, oh, okay, man, this seems cool. So it's not like you're gonna sit there and 365 days, I think
But
I'm
let
ready.
me remind you guys. You said that there will be situations that happen, right? That will test the relationship.
Agreed.
So that's the part of the conversation
hasn't
that you're
happened,
talking. So yeah, but sometimes you won't be able to know what's going to happen until that happens.
Yeah.
But then, I mean, if you're married, then you got to try to figure that out. But you do I know what you're talking about now. What I said was, yes, you would like to see how a woman would respond to a test of whatever in the relationship to see if that relationship is going to be strong enough to last. You definitely want to know that, right? That's something that everybody should have a level of understanding, because if you lose your job, Is she gonna leave you or is he gonna leave you? You know what I mean? If you lose a family member and it hits you hard, right? You know, some people they go into a shell for like a month. Because of loss, because of whatever happened. So are you going to support them through that? Try to help work it through?
I just don't think enough can happen in life in 6 months for you to understand how somebody deals with the reality of life.
Maybe.
I think it can.
Yeah.
But I think
Not
that as a
most.
general rule,
Yeah.
I think that as you just mentioned, somebody could go through something really difficult. They could lose a family member. They could, you know,
Lose a job.
They could lose, you know, a lot of that stuff. And it's like, I think it matters how a relationship handles situations like that.
Yeah.
I think that is potentially what matters more so than just butterflies of like dating somebody in the beginning. Because in all honesty, like there's a lot of people that you're going to vibe with. There's a lot of people you're going to be attracted to. But the integrity and the strength of a relationship comes from how you deal with adversity together.
Exactly.
Not how you deal with a vacation.
No.
But I think
That's important, but
yes, 100%. But I also think that you have to find two people who are willing to like put in the work,
Right.
who want it and want it to work. I think a
gotta
huge
put in the
issue
work.
now, you have to put in the work, but I think a huge issue now that people are running into is that there's so many other options. So like it's the same thing with dating someone, right? Like you go out with them, like you think, oh, this is great. Conversation was amazing. That like we have a vibe, but it's like, but can I do better? I'm gonna ghost them and I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep searching. And it's
Right.
this continuous like hamster wheel that you're on, trying to find something better.
Versus like your great grandmother, right? She might have been put through some
I have an
bullshit
opinion about this.
and she just kind of stuck it out. And
She
I
did,
mean-
but why? She did because she didn't have a job. She wasn't educated. She didn't know how to drive. There's so many other factors, and I think
Already
about
had
this
children,
the life
yeah.
with that my grandmother had with my grandfather.
But at the end of the day, she put up with all that because of whatever reason. I totally agree. But she still, you know, at the end of the day, was in a long marriage
Why be
versus.
miserable
but for
for
what
a long
though?
time?
Because
Why?
the question for what was security. And that is not as needed anymore.
It's still needed.
It's still needed.
It's still needed, but no one's afraid. Like I'm not.
Right.
I wasn't afraid to walk away from my marriage.
Oh, yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I have my own vehicle. I
Yeah.
can pay for. Like I have an education.
Yeah.
Like, I have a good job. Like I have. I have a kid, but like I
Right.
can take care of him on
Right.
my own. I don't need. Yes, it's nice to like have that security and to have a partner, but like
I do think when you have 100% free will, that's the best scenario because then you know what the person really wants
Right.
versus having them subjected
You know they
to.
want you, not need you.
Yeah.
That's what I was just about to say.
But I
That's the
hate when
other side
girls.
of
I
it.
hate
about
when girls say
choosing your
that though.
partner.
That I don't need a man. Like.
Oh no,
that-
I need a man. I need a man.
I need a man.
I need a
Yeah.
man.
Absolutely.
Because no. I need a man, not a boy.
Ooh, look at that. Hey, so I'm going to tell you this. Check this out.
Okay.
So the difference between want versus need, right? And even though they say they need a man, I guarantee you, they don't really necessarily need a man. They want a man that's going to be a man in their life, right?
I just
think
can't.
I need a man.
I just
I
can't
think I-
stand when they say that.
I think I need a man. I say this because,
Cause how you gonna make babies on your own?
well, not even the baby. but not
there's
even
a-
the
I
baby.
don't wanna get-
I don't want to get into
why
all
did you,
that.
Why
Not
did you
even
even hold
the
up?
baby
But
thing,
people
but
don't
I
even
mean-
necessarily want kids, but like also
Don't
there's
tell me
like
the
science
surrogates.
babies.
No, I don't want to hear none
Yeah,
of
there's
that.
other ways. There's
Why?
other ways.
You can adopt
There's
kids,
other
you can
ways.
have science babies.
Yeah, you
That
can
is
make
not-
a baby in a test tube, but that's not what you know.
But,
Hold on,
but
hold on.
that doesn't
I want
dictate
to
the
hear
quality
her
of a
response.
person.
So
I don't even wanna say it. I'm shy now.
No. See, you done made her shy, man.
Fucking owe me.
Good.
Damn
That's
you,
the
man.
whole point.
No, it's not. Give your
yeah, tell us,
unbiased
seriously.
opinion, please, because I want to hear this. I want to hear this need.
I am.
I
Forget
definitely
him.
want to hear it.
Y'all, I think y'all made her shy, not me.
Okay, I'm gonna just say it real quick. So no, I feel like I need a man because I've been in a relationship with a woman. It was a very short relationship, and that taught me that it was like the blind leading the blind. At least for me, right? In my situation, I'm not gonna say in every lesbian relationship, but it was like very short lived, right? But she moved in with me unannounced. I couldn't even take a shower by myself.
Oh, so she was
it was
codependent.
But also it was like I am a submissive woman with my man, right? I'm a submissive woman, and she was trying to turn me into the dominant woman for her because she was submissive. So it was the blind leading the blind.
Okay.
And so I realized
sense.
I needed a man. So it got to the point where I was like trying to bring in a man for both of us. Like, can we just, get, whatever? And she was like, no, I'm lesbian. I'm just like, You know, like it was just, and I had to realize that more so it was just like I wanted the companionship of a woman, like just like friendship. But when it came down to like, you know, later on in the night, I didn't want to, I was making excuses. You know, like it was fun a couple times, but then, but I didn't want that all the time. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, so anyways, long story short, I realized, yeah, I do need a man. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so that kind of made me, but the reason why I did sway from men was because their emotional availability wasn't there to what I needed. A woman is going to give you that. She's gonna, you know, for me, you know, but I felt like she gave me all of that. She gave me all the attention. I wanted all the whatever, you know, so but yeah, so I mean, I just realized I want emotional, available men, emotional, mature men, but I want a man and I need a man. So that's why I say that.
I think for me, it's probably where you were heading with like I don't need one, right? To
I hate hearing that.
No.
Be quiet on
I don't need
me.
one to
Let her
take care
Turn
of me.
his
I
mic
don't need
off.
one to make me feel whole as like a woman. I don't need a
Right.
man to make me like to tell me I'm beautiful and to make me
I need that.
a happy person.
I need it.
Like I need a man I want a man that's gonna like lead me. Like I need a man who is going to make me feel safe.
So now you need a man.
But
You
that's what
didn't
I'm
need a
saying.
man
It's
I said
different.
that,
No,
but I
it's
said
different,
that.
bro.
My
That's not
very
what she's
first thing
saying.
Is I said I do need a man, but
So why'd you just say you don't need a man?
She said financially, right? Or I think.
like so I just mean like I don't need a man to constantly.
She don't
like,
need a
build
man to
me
stroke
up.
her ego.
Yeah.
Ladies
She
and
don't-
gentlemen,
I need my man to stroke my ego.
we got him.
I need you to be the first. You won't be the only one for the
it's
day, but I
bullshit.
need you to be the first and the last.
Nah, because when I'm looking for a relationship, and this is just me, again, this is preference stuff, but it is frustrating to me when I feel like somebody is half looking for their whole. I
Right,
like
I agree.
two wholes coming together where you have your life, you have your stuff going on, you've got like drive and your own purpose and your own ambition, and the partnership becomes stronger because you support each other in your own goals. Some people don't want that. That's totally fine. But what I'm saying is that I am actually more attracted to somebody that does not need a partner, but feels like I will become better
They
in
want
the
a
right
partner.
relationship.
Like a compliment.
I
Yes.
feel like
You don't want
feel like
somebody
I-
that's gonna pull you down. You want somebody that's gonna walk beside you and
absolutely.
elevate you.
Well, I want someone to walk ahead of me. Not even
Yes,
beside
thank
me.
you.
Not even beside
But
me.
that's preference. That's not
Thank you.
quality.
That's
Yeah, it's not- yeah,
preference.
that's-
Yes.
Look, okay, I just don't. I don't like
that's
when.
what
Okay, how
you don't
what
like.
If what if all guys started saying, "I don't need a woman."
I don't.
We don't, but we don't say that. Do we need a girl to pay
Yeah,
our
but
bill?
the
Do we-
expectation is that women need men. So that's why women say that shit.
Wait, can we back up for a second? Because I feel like there's a part of this that I'm missing, right?
Okay.
So like, what is your like opinion on it? Like, what is your
My
thought process
opinion
on
is
this?
that I agree with all the things that you said, that like you don't really need it. I just hate when women vocalize
That's
that.
a strong word.
I'm
Strongly
disinclined to women saying, you want me to change my
So
vocabulary?
you just don't like when women walk around like, oh, I don't need a man. I don't need a man.
Yeah, because I agree, they don't need us and we don't need y'all either.
but you're not gonna say it.
But I just don't like it when you
But
guys
there
like,
are people out here that's running around like, I need a relationship. I need a man. I need a woman. I need
The
this.
codependency,
The
that's what I-
codependency.
Right. Yeah.
That part is the part where they need the constant understanding that, oh, you love me, you're in love with me, and I'm your only one. And
Yeah, I
they
don't need the codependency.
I don't need that from someone, right? I don't need someone to be like, oh my God, you're the best man in the world. No, I'm not the best man in the world. You know,
Don't you lie to me. I am so average.
For me, I don't know. I'm totally off. I feel like for me, if you're my man, I'm saying it. I'm pumping you up. You know, like I'm gonna say it. So if you get annoyed, then it wouldn't be a match.
Right.
No,
but that's
I didn't say
it's
that.
preference.
I didn't say that it would annoy me.
Right.
You know what I mean? But there are people that actually they feel like they're not in a relationship unless they have that. You know what I mean? It's like
I'm people.
like you just said.
That's me.
Like you just said. Remember, it was like, oh, you couldn't take a shower by yourself.
Oh no, okay, that's different though. Like I need space and I need Chanel time, you know? But at the same time, like I want to know my man is like borderline obsessed. Okay?
Okay.
And if you're not, then I start like backing away and then I'll end it. So that's my issue.
That's fair.
That's fair.
But again, maturity is knowing what you want and need out of a relationship and being able to communicate.
What happened?
Yeah.
I said, I hope you're paying attention and listening. Make sure she knows that you are completely 150% into her.
But some people don't want that.
Right. And
No,
I was with the Virgo did not want that, and he does not give the.
Of course not.
Can we say his
didn't
name
give-
before we say his zodiac sign? This is ridiculous.
We're talking about the Virgo and the
But he
Sagittarius.
also within the whole situation did not give any type of what is it called, like words of affirmation at all. His thing was acts of service.
Do you believe in love language?
Acts of service
Yes.
is my 100% like the greatest
Love
appreciation.
language.
It is no,
Okay,
but
so
I need
let's
to hear it too.
let's ask that question. What is everybody's love language?
I'm a mix, but I think acts of service is really what strikes me.
State your top two.
I don't know
Yeah,
all the
yeah,
love
top two.
languages though.
Top two.
What are they?
Acts of service, words of affirmation, gifts, quality time, physical touch.
Physical touch.
All the
Soft chuckle.
touch,
Okay,
right.
next.
physical touch for real.
Wait, say them again.
So word.
I got distracted. I'm sorry. I started thinking about
So
shit.
Squirrel.
So quality time, physical touch.
Wait, can we go slower?
Yeah, quality
But
time.
can we just clear up? I don't think that physical touch means like sex.
Yeah,
No,
we're
no,
not
I
talking
know.
about
Right.
sex.
Like,
Right, I
Why'd
take
you
it
guys
that
think
way.
I said
take
that?
it that
Because
way.
the way
I
you
took
said
that
it,
way.
yeah.
Holding hands.
Right.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
and maybe it could mean sex
I'm
too,
super
right? But,
affectionate, so I want to always
Yeah.
be like,
So like PDA, like you
Yeah,
want someone to
okay.
be holding your hand in public, like you want to like walk arm in arm.
You appreciate that.
Hell no. Look at it.
You're sitting down
He's
for dinner,
backpedaling.
and somebody puts their hand on your leg.
yeah, totally. I like that. But I don't know about the whole PDA, always like holding hands and kissing in public. Like, I'm not afraid of that and I'm not against it, but I'm all about like, yo, let me give you a kiss on the cheek, just to show you that I care. Or you could like walk up by my side and like, brush my shoulder or something, like all that. I'm with all of that
Slap her on
physical
the
touch.
ass. Like,
Yeah, I mean,
I need all that. I need that.
As-
And
as
if I don't
long
have
as
it, then I'm pissed.
yeah, as long as that's what she wants, then I'm gonna give it to her.
Okay.
Okay, wait. So, acts of service.
Words of affirmation.
Okay, wait. So,
quality
acts
time.
of service is like just
Doing like, okay, she knows you're hungry, so you know what, she's gonna go make you a sandwich or go get something for you. She'll
take your car to get
Uber
washed
eats you,
or-
Yeah.
or I don't know,
She's
just
gonna
like
wash your car. Wow.
right.
Yeah, you're
or
stressed.
she'll go grocery shopping.
You're
for you.
stressed, and that's
Okay.
something that needs to be done.
Yeah.
And she's like, you know what? I have availability, and I'm gonna do that right now.
I
Or
know
vice
that you like
versa.
a clean car.
Right.
Yours isn't clean right
She'll,
now.
or you know what? She'll clean your room or whatever. Acts
like
of service.
okay. Here's the
right?
thing, though. I feel like I can take care of myself 100%. But yeah, the acts of service is good. So what's the next one?
So then quality time.
Quality time.
Like how
You just
often
want
do
someone to sit next to you, watch a movie like that.
You don't have to be
You don't
engaged, they just have
go
to be
anywhere.
there.
Yeah, you're not at dinner. You're just
This is like-
This is hard because like all the,
confirmation that you like for you when you're like, wow, I really appreciate this relationship. What is it that somebody does to make you feel that way?
okay. What's the next one?
words of affirmation.
Like always saying I care about
Like
you.
I appreciate you. I appreciate you.
I need a man.
Or you look so. I love your haircut. I love your haircut. I love your haircut. You look good today. Oh, you look good. Like
We're gonna have to make this a whole episode.
Right,
Just the,
okay.
the
Okay, let's
what's
do
your
it.
love language?
languages.
language.
All right, we'll do that next time.
Okay.
Cool. So
You still didn't say what yours was, though.
why is this not loud enough? I don't know what it is. I feel like I want
So
all of
you
them.
researched then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You got a week.
do your homework. Come
You got
back.
a week.
Okay, he's a 9, but he doesn't give you the love language that you want.
Is that really?
No, I just made it up.
Okay. Then that's my situation. That was my past situation.
Yeah.
So he was
On
a
paper,
great,
on paper, he was freaking the one.
but he just didn't fill that void. That,
Wait. What does that mean?
What is that?
I'm really curious. For you,
one.
what does it mean on paper? He was the one. What does that mean for you?
Okay, so he had an amazing career, right?
Okay.
No children.
Okay.
40 years old. Never been married. Which would have been depending on if he was older than 40, it would be like maybe like a red flag. But he was at 40.
I was going to ask that next.
Right, but never been married.
which was like 10
he's
years older
great.
than you, roughly?
I'm 32.
Okay.
So it was 8. And then he had a great relationship with his mother. He's a provider in a way. He's not gonna be like super flashy with
Right.
it, but he'll do certain things. For me, consistent
Right.
is like number one. You need to be consistent.
He wasn't a Virgo.
He was a Virgo. That's why it didn't work. That's why it didn't
he was
work.
consistent.
Okay.
You said he was.
He was
Yeah,
to a
absolutely.
default. To a
So
default.
wait, he gave you the love language you want, but the personality differences?
No. He didn't give me the love language because I needed the words of affirmation, and I needed, and also he was slower in like the commitments area. He's like, I don't make anyone like my partner until a year after, and I'm not.
What does that mean? So he's like openly dating other people?
No.
for a year?
It was exclusive, but there was no title. And so for me, he's like, right, exactly.
At this stage in life,
Met all the family.
why does it matter?
Met all his family. Like,
Because she's more of a traditional.
No,
Right.
I'm agreeing with you. At this stage in life, like
Well, no,
if
but-
you're exclusive, you've met family and stuff. Why? What is the?
For me, and that's
Why would you
why
not
I
just
and
call
that's,
it a
and that's
ring,
why
don't it?
and that's why we made it to.
No, not that,
Well, no,
but-
I didn't even want. I just wanted like the okay,
Yeah.
like you know.
Slow down.
But this is the thing though. For me, it's like okay, it was. I got everything I wanted in a sense, right? Except for the words of affirmation. But then I started realizing on the 6th month. Right, I was like, wait, like we still don't, there's no like specific title. And then when I asked about that, then it was like, oh no. And I'm thinking now you're telling me no, I'm not. He's not saying you're not good enough to be my girlfriend, but I took it that way. I'm like,
Yeah,
wait.
That's exactly how anybody would take it when they.
That's
He
fair.
said no. He's like, I don't make anyone my girlfriend in under a year. I wish I would have known that.
I just that's confusing.
Right.
Okay, well, I got
So on
something
to the next.
heavy on my
Let's
mind
go.
right now.
What?
The last time we had talked about, is it okay to hit on a girl at the gym, right? And y'all dogged me for that.
I did.
And I
You're
was like,
single? Are you
y'all-
single?
Yeah, I'm
Okay,
single.
okay. That's then. Okay.
They were just saying it's not the appropriate place.
Oh, it is the purple. Yeah, it is.
Where did I meet you again?
At the gym.
Yeah, and I got a few more coming from the gym too. But
Okay, but we're on a podcast.
I love it.
So, all right, yeah. Open opinion.
how do you
How do you feel? No, absolutely not.
What?
I'm not stepping back. How do you feel if somebody is flirting with you at the gym?
That's great. Then he had the balls to be my man, possibly.
And let me preface.
Versus
I like
somewhere
that.
else.
No, anywhere. Like if a man nowadays, I appreciate a man like not saying, "Oh, damn, you look good," but like coming up to, like to have a real conversation, not like not even flirting, just a real conversation. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like to where there's no like words of affirmation or whatever, but just a genuine conversation. I appreciate that because everything's like online or Instagram or
I see
whatever.
what you're saying.
Slide in
if-
the DM.
If
you
you
know,
roll up on you like, "Hey, little mama, how
then
you
it'll be a no
doing?"
for me. Yeah.
But you're saying as long as it's
Darnell, you're gonna have to get
appropriate,
another line, bro.
I've never used it.
as long as it's appropriate, anywhere is a good place. But as
Yes.
long as it's appropriate, like you're not gonna go up to somebody,
Okay, can I? Do you think people should be going to the gym with the intention of flirting people?
Not the intention, but if it happens, it happens. Like, don't hold back.
That's my issue.
I said yes.
Don't
That's
hold
my
back.
issue.
Oh, you go there too.
See,
I'm
see,
I'm on.
That's like
I'm green light
shop,
all
like-
the time.
Oh,
You know.
okay.
I'm looking
You
for
are,
my.
though.
I'm looking
At
for
school,
my.
in school. You were.
Yeah, I'm looking for my wife. Like, where is she at? Is she at the
I love-
grocery
no,
store?
I love that.
You
He
know.
was
I love
legitimately
that.
Like, what if she passed by me and I didn't say something to her and I lost that opportunity?
No, I love that, and I love.
Right.
You've always been like that.
Yeah.
You know. So I love that. I love it. You gonna find her.
You good, bro?
no, I'm not. I'm pissed.
Okay, well, I'm gonna keep throwing jabs at
All right,
this, but I
Michelle-
just need
Michelle, what's your perspective?
Yeah, Michelle, how did I approach you?
You know, it's funny that you bring this up because I was trying to remember what you said to me. It was something completely
Something clean.
off the wall. It wasn't like the typical like, hey, like I think I was doing pull-ups and like
And I waited till you were done. I didn't
You
come
got a
into it.
pull-up game?
I was doing pull-ups and so I will say that most guys that do approach me in the gym, they do it right after I'm done with like a set of pull-ups.
Well, yeah,
but it's
yeah.
the easiest way to be like, oh, like, you know, I see you doing pull-ups or whatever. You know, it's the same old shit. But he said something funny, but then we actually just started talking. I had just moved here and we were talking about how difficult it is to like meet friends when you're in your 30s and you're older. You know what I mean? You
I
can't-
remember what I said, but I'm not about to
What'd you
expose
say?
myself. No.
Man,
What'd you
put it
say?
out there, man. Put it on the wood. Come on,
Bro, I
player.
got lines,
Come
bro.
on, come
I'm
on.
not about to.
Come
It
on,
was
player.
fun-
Put
I
it out
think-
there.
I'm
Somebody,
pretty sure it was
somebody
something
may
funny.
want to use this line.
But I don't remember.
What's up,
And then
Asante?
we
You
started
good?
talking. But I didn't. So I will say though, I didn't take it as you were hitting on me. To be honest, like I didn't take it as like he's trying to like get my number.
Yeah, no, I honestly, I don't. I just want to feel the person's energy, and your energy was really good, and I was like, okay, cool. Like, And then I, figured this is a person that is a good person, and I didn't think right away me and you were gonna date, but I was like, okay, she's cool, and it's just like, why not shoot your shot,
Basically, I'm gonna invite her to my podcast, and then we're gonna get married.
Yeah.
I see it. You guys would be a
There it is.
phenomenal couple.
So
Well, thank you.
Why not? I see it.
I mean, because of her, obviously,
no, but I think the point is in this conversation is are you connecting with someone as a person, or are you flirting with someone when you go to the gym?
Okay, here, I'm just gonna say this. The gym is not the place to have a full-blown conversation, right? The gym is to
But I
work
would
out.
prefer a full blown conversation than a pickup line.
Yeah, if you're gonna stop me, then
I didn't say I do
Give me
pickup
something.
lines. I said I got my
just said,
lines. My
got lines for days,
I got
bro."
lines.
He said, I got balls.
why not just be like, hey, like, like a little like 2-minute conversation. Okay, finish, and then let's go get some smoothies.
Well, okay.
After.
Yeah, well, that's
You know?
usually how it is.
Okay.
It's usually like in and out. Like I know that you're here to work out and I'm here to work out, and I don't have all day to come
Mm-hmm.
and talk to you. But how long did that interaction last between us?
It was a while because then we were talking about.
Well, how
the
long is a
podcast.
while?
I mean, I guess maybe not.
Oh,
a while.
you mean
At
a
least
while
5
ago?
Minutes.
It was 5 minutes?
Was it longer than that? Less?
It was way less than that.
No, it wasn't. Because
Man, I
you
do
started
recall
asking me
you,
a
you took
question.
like a 15-minute intermission in between basketball games to have a conversation. Play it.
That wasn't
Oh,
15
100%.
minutes. I swear that was less
He's
than 5
lying.
minutes too. I'm not. It wasn't 5 minutes.
I was like, well, what kind of questions would you ask? And you were like, well, maybe this. And so you threw it out there. We had a legit conversation.
You
we
had
could go check the tapes at LA Fitness.
Whoa. He said, go back to the tapes. He got amnesia.
I'm gonna say this. I'm usually just trying to, like I said, I'm always on the lookout for my wife. I don't know who
love
it's
that.
gonna be, right? I'm just gonna walk up, and if you receive me well, then I'm gonna feel it, right? And if you don't, you're gonna do some, bitch move and just be like this and turn your head, and I'm gonna feel it, and I'll never talk to you again.
Right.
So, but I'm not leaving any rocks unturned.
Ooh,
But that's the thing.
I'm
So
not mad at it.
I love
yeah,
it.
so I just think that like the person
said,
that
"I got
doesn't want to
1,000
talk
balls
at
and
the
I'm gonna use every
gym
last
might
one."
not be somebody that you'd be compatible with, because you would be compatible with somebody that would talk to people at a gym.
But here's the thing: would you rather meet that person online or at a bar? How else do you meet people? Like
Grocery store, or I mean, I don't know.
But I mean,
don't
like
know.
I'm at work, right? And then I'm not hitting on girls at work because I don't want to mess my situation up, right? But then I go to the gym
HR
every day,
nightmare.
and then I come home. I'm not gonna meet anybody in between from
Right.
going. That's the time.
Same with me. I work from home.
Exactly. So it's
Yeah.
like that, I feel like that's the time to talk to somebody. And it's, again, I'm not there having a full. I don't think it was 5 minutes. I think it was like 3 minutes.
I agree with it. Was
Don't
probably
downplay
like
it.
10 minutes or something, player. Come on, man.
It was
no
wild
way.
because I
There's
remember
no
thinking
way.
to myself, that totally fucked up my set.
Ooh.
You fucked her setup.
No, I'm just kidding.
Hey, but you here though, right?
Hey, I will say though that there's no way that you can talk about the fact that you moved, the fact that you have a podcast, and anything else in less than 5 minutes.
I swear, bro. I
Right.
swear it was.
Nah, bro.
Look, you gonna have to.
You do
Look,
too
I
much
think-
explaining
He got
in
my
that
whole-
I think what I'm
Yeah.
hearing, is you just really enjoyed the conversation and the time went by fast. I think that's what's happening.
That's what I think would happen.
Look,
You have
y'all looking-
warped concept of time.
You guys are just gonna have to see one time, bro. It's,
Bro, I did see it once. That's what I just
She
told you.
missed 3 sets of
15
pull-ups.
minutes.
It wasn't
of an
15
intermission,
minutes.
intermission between basketball
was not
games.
15
I
minutes.
stood there
you
waiting
think people
on
are
you.
gonna wait for me for 15 minutes to start the next game?
Well, they weren't waiting for you. They were waiting for me, and you happen to be on my team.
I think they're waiting for me, bro.
I think this conversation is wrapped.
Right? Yeah, definitely. Next question. What's the difference and what are the pros and cons between a modern man and a traditional man?
Speak on it.
Who are you talking to?
Oh, just sorry. Just
Well, for the ladies, since I said men, but I can switch it and say woman and let you
let's
answer.
not get. That's a long. Okay.
Okay, you can go with the traditional versus modern man and the pros and cons.
You go, because I'm not sure that I have an opinion about this, but I would actually want to hear their opinions, just because you guys talk to
Okay.
men and have like friends.
Okay.
So I mean, I'd be interested in here. I personally don't have an
Okay,
opinion.
let the guys go first then.
I think that as we discussed last time, with the shift of of opportunity based off of a lot of different criteria, including, you know, like a lot of the work that's been done from a job opportunity standpoint for women and a lot of stuff like that. I think that there's men, especially like, you know, the quote unquote traditional man, has to really reevaluate what value he's bringing to a relationship now. And I think that when people are stuck with what men used to be responsible for contributing, I think that that's going to be based off of preference of, you know, I think that there are a lot of people will appreciate that value, but I think that the problem now comes when people are not willing to adjust to a different landscape of what things are possible. I think that when people are stuck to looking at the quality of a partner in, you know, what is in the past, I think that starts to become a little bit of an issue. I think people need to kind of understand that things have changed and, you know, I need to bring different value maybe to a relationship.
I got my own opinions. And you, Darnell, before
But I also think it's totally fine to be, for either person to be a breadwinner, for either person to be the caretaker of kids. I just think it comes down to, like, again, communication, understanding. Maturity is understanding what your preferences are and being able to communicate that. Mm-hmm. But I just think that, like, you know, the concept of the value only comes from X, Y, and Z from a societal perspective is an issue.
So you're saying there's like a balance nowadays that it's not hot, cold, black, white.
Correct. Okay. Yes.
Darnell, because I'm about to really rock this shit.
Oh, well, go ahead and rock it then,
No, I just want to hear you say it first.
Oh, now you, okay. So I agree with some of what Asante is saying. I also agree that there are some traditions that shouldn't change or go away. You know, I believe that there are some things men should definitely do as a man. And I believe that there are some things that women should do as a woman, because that's the distinguish between the two, right? And like we talked about, Asante in the door, I believe that, as a man, you should open the door, right? As a man, you should take out the trash, or make sure your son is taking out the trash. I believe that as the society that we're in now, everything has kind of flowed together. So the roles kind of got mixed up because a lot of homes don't have that dual father, that father and mother in it. Some of them do, right? And even in that, you still have women that are taking out the trash. You know what I mean? Like the dad is off, he'll go to work and, I forgot to take the trash out or whatever. And then you'll see the mom rolling the trash can out or rolling it back up to the house. That's his job, right? I believe that, man, if that's your woman, she shouldn't have to wash her car. She shouldn't have to worry about taking her car to the mechanics. I believe that those are the things that, if it's a situation that'll possibly put your woman in some type of, where she can be taken advantage of, then that's the role that the man should play. In certain situations where the woman should be there, where the woman has that passion, for certain things where, when it comes to kids needing that nurturing, right? Yeah, you can get that from a father, but most of that comes from a mother, right? 100%. So there are roles that I believe that should still be either a man or a woman's. But I believe that you can still work those in a relationship, but some of them, like, I'm not gonna lay there while my woman is gonna go out and take the trash out and tell me I'm about to go wash my car, or I'm gonna sit in the passenger seat, and I've seen this a lot. The woman gets out of the car at the gas station. The guy is in the passenger seat. She pays for the gas and pumps the gas.
Disgusting.
That's wrong.
But what if she's the breadwinner? What if
I wouldn't be with her then.
So here's,
Then let her pay,
you're
but
fucking
you
your
still
life
touching
up.
the handle.
That's what I was about to say.
Still touching the handle though.
She
So
can
that
pay-
I'll pay. Then
you can pay for it.
I'm not saying I'm not willing to do
I'm gonna
these
pump
things.
that gas. but I'm
I'm
gonna
saying
pump
that
gas.
if somebody gets out of the car because I'm distracted and sitting on the phone, I think it is a kind thing for me to do.
You've
Be
been
like, I was
distracted.
closer to
You're
the pump, my
distracted.
fault.
Now she's
Now
closer
take
to
your
the
first.
pump.
I'm sorry. Let me not say your first.
Now she's
don't know
closer
what-
to the pump.
I don't know what the
Last time
situation
she was
is.
closer to the door. Why the fuck didn't she open it?
I don't know what the situation is, but I do think that, you know, if you're out of town for a couple weeks, you're on a business trip, you're
That's
doing
different.
something like that,
That's
right?
different.
And your girl's tire gets flat on the side of the highway and she knows how to change a tire. Why is that not an attractive thing, a quality?
No,
It is.
No, I didn't say that she couldn't do it. But what I'm saying is if you're there as
Right.
the man,
Right.
she shouldn't have to do it.
I think, but
I think
that's
she
to the
should
door
be,
thing.
she should be able and willing and understand how to do everything that you can do as a man, right?
That's the door thing, though. That's the who's there first.
Ooh.
Wait, explain.
Oh, yeah, y'all don't know about this?
Oh.
Oh, sorry.
Oh yeah. Go ahead, Asante. Explain yourself.
gosh.
If I'm walking up and there's a bunch of people, you best believe, I'm sure you've seen me do this, Darnell.
Yeah,
that
I've seen it several times.
I'll stand there and I'll hold a door open for a shit ton of people coming through,
Yep.
and I'll get stuck there because I want to hold the door open for people.
Right.
I don't think that is a male or female responsibility.
Hey, we gotta navigate this to the flower conversation too.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. But I don't think that that's a necessarily a male or female responsibility. I think that like it is a kind courtesy thing to do to be like, I want to take care of my partner and I want to hold the door open. But I think that when it starts to become an expectation of I'm not getting out of this car until my man comes and opens the door, I think that that's ridiculous.
Okay.
Oh, the car door I think is different.
The card, yeah. The card, if you were, I don't touch any type of public anything. Even when I'm by myself, I get a paper towel because I'm a germaphobe. So for me, but okay,
What if your guy's a germaphobe?
then we stand in there outside.
That's crazy. That's
Both stand
wild.
there outside.
Till
I
someone
promise-
else
I have
walks through.
First, let me just say this: I haven't touched a pump. Actually, touched a physical pump in maybe like 10 years.
Damn.
Because I wear gloves. But if I am with a man, then and even if I am
Right.
if I'm paying, right? If it's my car that we're driving in and I'm paying, you know, then I'll go in or whatever and he'll pump.
No,
Right.
but that's a different discussion. Like germaphobe, that's not.
But
we're
still,
talking
no. But
about
even if I wasn't, even if I was not, then the chivalry should should never be dead. It should never, unless you were sick or on your deathbed.
Wait, so if you're going out to dinner, you're on a date.
Yeah.
You're going out to dinner. You guys are walking up to the door. Are you opening the door for her? Or
Yes.
if she gets to the door first, you're going to be like, all right, you got there first, so you go ahead and get it.
No, I mean, I'm thinking about like okay, I want to get to
start
I want to get to
backpedaling
that
now.
door. I'm answering the question.
Don't backpedal now.
I want to get to that door.
Okay.
Oh, I like that.
If I'm having a conversation with somebody and I'm distracted for a second and she's not in that conversation and she opens the door, I'm not thinking that like, oh, my role as a man has been challenged.
Oh, I'll just wait there for you, like to be done with the conversation, and then I'll wait, and then we'll go in together, because I'm not.
I just think like if somebody holds the door open for me, I'm saying thank you.
I'm always
I think it's
saying,
a
can I
kind
say
thing
this?
to do.
I want to say this though, on the back end of it, like for me, I make sure I always say thank you. Like my like politeness is like, and like appreciativeness is like top tier, because I never want to
Yeah.
have to open the door. So I'm going to make sure I say thank you every time. And most, oh my God, thank you so much. Oh my God, you know, like I don't care who it is. It could be a little boy that opens the door, a grandpa, my man or whatever, but it's not going to be me. And like, I'm going to teach my son that if I have a son, like that's just, for me, I'm so old school, because let me
I'm
take.
teaching
can
my
I take-
son and I'm teaching my daughter
can
that like there is a level of kindness as a person where you want to take care of the people around you,
Right.
and that is a good quality. And you also need to be receptive to people wanting to take care of you.
Absolutely. So to that point, I feel like for me, there's never going to be a moment where my man comes in and he has to lift a finger. All you got to do is wash your hands and then that's it. You can sit down. You don't have to do lift. You don't have to do anything. Like whatever
you
you
mean?
want, whatever you want. Okay, so if you're my man and you're coming over,
Right.
then you're going to literally just wash your hands and then just sit down wherever you want to
But see,
sit.
that's-
You'll be served. I'm
But
going
see-
to. That's my
But I
love
think
language.
but I think both things come hand in
Right.
hand for you, because I think that you're providing a trade-off of
Yeah.
hey, look, like you're holding the door open and I'm cooking and I'm cleaning and I'm doing these things, right?
Mm-hmm.
I cook and I clean.
And so people like you, I find out later that it doesn't work.
Right, and that's
because,
okay. But
because
it's
they don't
preference
value
based.
that.
It's
Because,
not quality based, it's preference based. That's my
right,
point.
Right.
This is what I like, and this is what I expect out of a relationship or out of a partner. But again, like, you know, I'm looking for co-leadership. And in co-leadership,
I don't want to be a leader.
that's fine.
I'm a leader in my work life, so I don't
Right.
want to be a leader. I want
Right.
you to decide where we go. I want you to, and I know that's a lot, and that's why I don't want to
Hey
do it.
man, I'm all about that.
I want you to decide
And that's
like
great.
everything. Like I want you to just say, babe, just pack a bag for this and this and this.
Yeah.
You know, and like maybe you tell me the place, of course, but like that's where we're gonna go.
Let me just ask you this, Asante. So, do you have any young female relatives, like 5, 6 years old?
Yes.
And so I have a niece, right? And when dealing with her changed my whole perspective on how to treat women. I kind of look at women as like we are their protectors, right? And so
I disagree.
when I go out, no, I mean that we could disagree, but that's how I feel.
Yeah.
When I take my niece anywhere, right? I'm opening all her doors. I'm doing everything for
You're
her,
teaching
right?
her how she should be treated.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm opening the door for my nephew too.
Yeah, no, I know, but I'm saying no. When it comes to like my nephew, I'll make him get the door. You know, like he's 5, 6, 7. He's big enough to get it.
love
But with my niece,
And you're
like
teaching him how to treat
But this
a
is
woman.
also an implication that, like, because you just said he's big enough, but your 13-year-old niece, hypothetically, is bigger than he is.
So women and children, he opens the doors for. Women and or females, I guess we can say
Right.
now, and children.
I think
But,
if it was
now
my
you're talking about a size thing.
no, if it was my 13-year-old niece too, I would probably still get the door for her.
Yeah.
But I never used to think like that. You know, I used to think like get your own door. You know, but then since I started dealing with her,
I think that's a problem.
it
though.
made me
Can I say-
realize
I
that
think
like,
that's also a
Just jump in
problem.
and start
Get your own
talking.
door. I think that's also a problem.
I'm just dive on in. I will say
in.
this. So let's go back to the car door. He needs to get my door, but when I get in first, I get his door always. There's never a chance. Like I will
she's a
literally not even like I
What was
will
that
literally
movie?
run out of breath trying to get that door from the inside. 'cause
You
I
learned
wanna
that from
make
that
sure
one
he
movie. What was that
always
movie?
gets
The Bronx
my
Tale.
Bronx
door.
Tale.
But I didn't even see that.
If she don't reach
but I
over
wanna
and
make
unlock your
sure.
door for her, kick her ass out.
But like I'm like literally almost out of breath, like knocking stuff over because I need to make sure I get that door because he needs to do it every time. So I don't want to lose that privilege because it's a privilege.
we gotta like steer this to the flower conversation.
Hold up.
No, because you still haven't
I feel
answered
like,
the
yeah.
fucking question, bro. You sliding over here, man.
But I also
get
think like I've seen a lot of faces from Michelle. I want an explanation for those faces.
Well, she was just waiting for us to incriminate ourselves.
Figure it out. No, I think that I'm a very traditional person in the sense that like I do all of like the cooking, like or not all of the cooking, like but. I don't mind if someone cooks with me, but like I also don't mind making like meals every day, right? Like
Right.
I clean, like I don't expect my
Amen.
partner to clean anything in the
Good
house.
fit.
Like I'll do, I mean, but I do expect them to like, well, my son takes out the trash, right?
There
But
you
like
go.
if I didn't have a son, then I would expect like my husband or my boyfriend or whoever that I was living with at the time to take out the trash. I do want a guy to to open up the door for me. If if we're walking out to the garage, like I want you to open my door.
Right.
Because it's dark.
it's a
in
turn
there.
on. It's a turn on.
But I mean, that's just my preference, right? But also to your point, if we're going to a restaurant and you're on the phone, like you're lagging behind, like I don't mind opening. Like I'm not gonna have an attitude the whole night just because, right?
You didn't open my door.
But I think that there are certain I think it's just a certain way that I would want to be treated like as a woman, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that you want to be treated in a relationship as a priority. You want somebody to be thoughtful,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And there's so many ways to showcase that. And I think that those should always be respected. I just think that it goes outside of the realm of traditional gender roles. I think that I can still be excited to go and open a door for somebody. But like,
It not be
all
your
I'm saying
job.
is like, if I'm going out to lunch with Darnell or going out to lunch on a first date, it doesn't change my interest in being like, oh, I'll take care of this, or like opening the door for somebody and having a conversation. It's because it's Darnell versus a girl. I don't have an increased interest in doing that for somebody
We've done
because of
both.
gender expectations.
Yeah, we've done both.
And I think that there's appropriateness of doing both in a relationship too.
Y'all ever have that situation where like you hold the door for a girl and like she don't even say thank you and you're
Ugh,
like,
disgusting. Yeah, it's disgusting. It's
But that's just
disgusting.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it goes back to your point, like just being a kind human.
Right.
Right. Like
Yeah.
people don't have the basics of like
Right.
just being a kind, because a lot of people are like, what can someone do for me as opposed to
Right.
like, what can I?
But that's a
I want
selfish person,
reciprocity.
though.
I want
That's a
reciprocity.
selfish
If
person.
you're going around the world expecting, hey, there's certain things that I am not going to do as a man or a woman, and I'm waiting for that role to be filled, I think you're doing yourself a disservice.
Absolutely.
I think, like I said, for me, if I'm like by myself and I'm getting gas, like I said, like I literally have gloves,
Yeah, yeah.
that I'll use. But like if I'm with someone, it's just never gonna change, like that's just gonna be what it is. And if it isn't, I'm not gonna make a big issue out of it in the moment. And later on, I'll just have a conversation about like a healthy conversation, like, hey babe, like what do you think about like gender roles and things like that? Because
Hey, babe, what the fuck were you doing at the gas station?
like, what was that? But I would bring it up for sure, but I want to bring it in the way that like he can receive it, because I do want it to change, but I wouldn't want that to be like the reason why we don't work out. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So
It's a
like,
conversation, though. Right?
yeah, for
But,
sure, because I want reciprocity, and I'm gonna be I know my roles, because I definitely 100% believe in gender roles. I know my roles, and I do that like top tier. So
I love that. Okay, so we went on and on about
You
this, and
still
I think it
haven't
was
answered the question.
the traditional,
Yeah, man.
the pros and cons of traditional
Yeah,
versus.
because you said you want
He
to
answered it last time.
Yeah, I'm all about traditional. Like I think the guy should pay for everything. I think the guy should protect his woman. If there's a situation where we're out in the street and it's either you're gonna die or me, I'm taking the bullet.
But I'm doing that for my friends.
Yeah. But the thing is I'm not
I'm
doing,
doing that for a stranger.
I'm not doing
But we're
that.
talking about your woman right now.
I'm not doing that
like,
for all
so
my
are you doing
friends.
that for your woman? Like, because it's coming
But
off
of
like you're not. So
course.
that's why. Okay. So that's why I want you to.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
But, so are you dating anyone?
Yes.
You are. Okay. Never mind.
we have to get her on sometime.
She'll come on here.
Okay.
Cool. All right, the flowers
Wait,
thing.
hang on. Well, never mind.
Was
the
it-
flowers thing.
The flowers thing. How do you feel about a guy bringing you flowers on a first date?
I love it. Can I say something too? I brought flowers to my man when I picked him up from the airport. Because I don't want my man to get flowers only when
Give
he's in
him
the
his
ground.
flowers so
when
he
he's
can smell it.
when he's
Didn't we say that the other day?
You know
Like,
what
when
I'm
was the
saying?
last time we got flowers?
Yeah, men
When
don't
was
get
the last
flowers
time we
except
got
for when they
flowers?
die. So it's like I want to show like, oh my God, I'm so happy you're back home. You know what I'm saying? I got him the most manliest flowers I could find. But you
What
know,
does that mean?
What does that mean?
right? I know
What
people don't
does
get
that
on-
look like?
It just
Did you
wasn't.
take a
They
picture of
weren't.
it?
They weren't bright colors. They were just. It was like a burgundy-ish and like green, burgundy and green, and they weren't. They
that's
weren't roses.
different.
They were just like.
Okay.
I don't even know what kind of flowers they
You
were.
can get
but-
me a Venus flytrap. That'd be dope.
Oh.
No, I'm just kidding. Michelle, flowers on a first date.
Honestly, I probably don't want flowers on a first date because for me, it goes back to what you were talking about in terms of like consistency. Like, are you going to bring them to me every single week? So if it's like if this is a you thing, and like you just want to bring me flowers weekly,
But that's
absolutely.
kind of that. Well, weekly. That's kind of like
I dated
a lot.
I dated a guy that brought me, my mom, and my grandmother flowers weekly. It's because he wanted.
I love
to,
that.
Yeah.
Right?
But in reference to a first date, if you're doing it on a first date, this better be a personality thing, not
Yeah.
just some type of weird facade impression.
Yeah, like I don't want him because he's trying to make me think that
trying
he's
to
a
impress
nice
you.
guy.
Yeah, yeah,
And so I don't want anyone to sway me into thinking that they're a nice guy.
Got it.
People who want you to believe that they're a nice guy have bad intentions.
Intentions. Yeah.
Like so.
So
don't,
wait, what
don't
is
bring
it?
me
Yes or no?
flowers. I don't think that
No, it's a
honestly,
no.
It's a no.
On the
And
first
I don't
date.
And
think
for
that I
you, it's
would
a
want
yes.
them.
For me, now that I think about it, now that you just brought it up, the two people that I've done that on the first date, yeah, they did have bad intentions, or like not necessarily bad intentions, but like one was just like an alcoholic. I found out, and like he called me crying, and like it was just like a big mess, like a huge mess. So I had to block him. But he was so like giving and so nice and things like that. So it sucked to have to block him because, anyways. So
So no
in theory,
or yes?
I mean,
Come on, just
second date would be great.
Okay.
Because now you know me, and now you're kind of, I'm like, oh, he missed me, or you know, whatever. But the first date is like,
But would it
this
be
isn't because of me,
expected?
this is
weird.
because of you, right? So if the man brought it the first date, it would be more for him, not for me, because he doesn't know me. But if it's a second date, I'm like, oh, okay, like he was feeling the first date, you know. So yeah,
Okay.
no.
Okay. All right. What are you all gonna say? I told you so.
No, I don't need to.
I got him the second day. Yeah.
So coffee and keep it simple on the first date.
Yeah. Omid over here taking mad notes.
Yeah, we're talking about I'm swinging for the fences.
Or some food or a smoothie.
Yeah, how much better would it be if it's like you're going on a first date
Hey,
with
I got
somebody,
you a
right?
protein shake. I
And
knew
all
you
you
was working out hard.
All about it.
all you know is that they did a workout a couple hours ago, and they wanted to like shower and get ready and whatever and come out to the date, and you're like, hey, we're going to the park to get coffee, or we're doing this and this, but I went and got a smoothie. I got you one. That's so much better than
yes.
flowers.
I got you a protein
Yeah.
shake.
No, yeah.
Because it's applicable, like you
Yeah.
said.
Yeah.
This is information that I have, and I'm being thoughtful.
That's
I'm
some
being
thought behind
considerate.
it. That's been some thought
Right.
behind it.
And like I knew you're probably, maybe you're gonna be hungry. If you don't want this smoothie, I'll fucking drink it.
Yeah.
Like I don't care, but like
Yeah.
here, I thought you might like this.
Now I have to.
Yeah, dairy free.
Yeah. Yeah. Big ups to the dairy free.
So we remember how we usually the battery runs out like at 1:45, right? So we
Yeah.
got about 10 minutes.
All right.
And it's probably gonna be your camera again. No,
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
No, the camera's mad disrespectful.
Okay, how about some of the questions that you had posed?
Okay.
How about this one? I think we didn't get to it last time, but what are the signs that somebody is emotionally checking out of a relationship?
You guys can go first.
I don't know. What are the signs? I think that
That's a good one.
for me personally, if I'm checking out of a relationship, first comes like the intimacy. Like I don't want to be intimate with someone because if I'm not stimulated mentally, then there's no way that I can be intimate with you. And so if we are no longer having that connection,
On
then
your
like
way out the door.
I'm already. I'm
But you know
gone.
it's not like that for guys, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
100%.
What do you mean?
Like a guy will
Sometimes
still hit
it-
and
I disagree.
Depending on the,
I think
I've
that's
had guys
completely
that,
dependent on the
yeah,
guy.
I've heard
I
guys
totally
that,
disagree.
that they were just like, I didn't even want, they were unattracted to her.
You're not
or
even
something,
turned on.
But
Yeah.
it's just the emotional availability more so than necessarily checking out. Like you said, like if you're not emotionally invested in a relationship, that could be for a lot of different reasons. You could still want to be in that relationship, but there might be like, that is a sign from an intimacy standpoint. And I think that applies to a lot of men, that if a guy is like no longer really being intimate and that's part of your relationship in a positive, healthy way, that like this person's probably emotionally checked out. You might want to have a conversation.
I don't know about for guys. I mean, I'm not going to say all guys, but I think for women, it's a lot more prevalent. For guys, it might be a 50-50 thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know though, because I know a lot of girls that are just, I don't know.
All right, some other signs then, because that's a big one.
Right.
But there's probably some other ones that are.
I've heard a lot of girls say that they have, they were checked out, but they were still having sex with, or, being intimate with their partner because it was like for them.
Yeah, for the guy, for the person.
Yeah.
Yeah,
their partner?
I've
Yeah.
done that.
Yeah.
So what are some other like major signs?
For me, it would be like, let's
I
just
ain't
say
cooking for your ass. No
if
more.
I would still because a lot of
I
like
gotta eat.
yeah, no, I'm like, yeah. So for me, if I have beforehand like expressed to you like, okay, my love languages aren't being met and things like that,
gonna say
and
the
then
love
and then
language
it
thing.
stops, and then I stop talking about it,
Yeah.
I could care less. Someone else is doing it.
So stop.
So when I stop asking for it, then
somebody else done already stepped
someone else
in,
is
huh?
doing it,
Oh.
and so yeah. Because if you haven't changed, the only reason why I would stop talking about it is if you've changed and you've made it better. But if you know you haven't even done anything to like make it better, then I'm good. I'm smiling around you. I'm happy. But you know that you weren't making me happy. That's how you know.
Ooh, that's a good one. So okay.
When I
about
stop
cheating
asking,
right now?
when I
Yeah,
stop,
that's what we talking about, cheating.
Well, no, because in my situation, I wasn't in it wasn't a relationship, right?
Oh, right, because he didn't want no title.
but
So once I told him that, then I told him, I said, okay, so then we can continue to date, but I'm gonna open it up on my end. I do
that's fair.
do what you want,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna open it up. So I started opening it up, and I
communicated
stopped asking for it. Like,
And I think that super applies to both men and women. Like when the guy has expectations from his girl, he's gonna vocalize that. He's gonna say, "This is what I want. This is what I like. This is what I expect." And then girl too. But then when they stop asking for that, you could kind of tell. Like, and they kind of like everything's good and dandy and they're
Be
happy.
scared.
Yeah, that's not a good sign. Okay, that was a good one. That was a good one. That was a good one. What else?
I think you can kind of tell when somebody starts kind of shifting their own social stuff and you're not really involved with that.
Oh yeah.
They don't want to
Like
bring
when
you
somebody, well, they're just looking for something that they're not getting out of their life and they don't want to do it with you. This is what I'm really getting
Yeah,
at.
that
Like,
would hurt.
If you really
I'm going
care
to the
about
movies.
somebody, you want to do things with them.
yeah, like they develop a whole new friend group and they're doing this whole new thing and you are not involved at all.
Back at the
Yeah.
club.
They're not talking to you about it. They're not sharing you. So it's like, oh wow, like they're going, like we're growing, like we need to have a
Growing apart,
conversation.
Yeah.
Because in my
You've
opinion,
grown
once
apart at that point.
I think it's really important to have separate stuff, right? Like having separate lives, having separate interests. I think that that's a healthy part of a
That's
relationship.
healthy. That's
but when
very
you're in a relationship and you know you're really excited, for me that also means being like best friends with the person that you're
Definitely.
with. That's important for me. So like new stuff that I start getting into, I'm always thinking about like, oh, this would be really fun to do with my partner.
So to make it
when that stops, there's a problem.
So in simple terms, when they stop including you in areas, of
Even
their
just being excited to talk about it.
right.
Like, cause they could just go start doing like an art class because they're like, I want more of a creative outlet. And like, you don't have to do that. Like, there's no weirdness
Yeah.
about doing that together. That can be completely, that's awesome.
Yeah.
But like, if I'm not like talking to you about
And
that.
you find out later on that
Oh,
they
yeah.
started a class.
Yeah, like they started
How
the
long have
class.
you been doing this
They started
art
going out
class?
to lunch.
Right.
They started going out to lunch with friends from their class.
Yeah.
They're going over to like parties. Yeah, you got.
Yeah, no,
like,
that's a big one.
In my opinion, they're emotionally checked out.
Absolutely.
Yeah, if you're not the first person that
That they
I'm
talk
calling
to.
to tell
Yeah.
you about
So I
something
have
that
a-
happened to
Yeah.
me, then like I'm already.
I have a question I want to ask you ladies about that. So you want your boyfriend, husband to be your best friend also?
Yes.
Yeah, to a degree.
To what degree?
No, yeah, like, but I'm not gonna like talk like I'm not gonna talk to him like I talk to my females, you know, like friends or whatever. Like I'm gonna talk to him like with I want to look up to my man. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna talk to him like I'm talking to my homegirl. Oh, bitch, you know, whatever. I'm gonna be like.
Well, I'm not saying you have to talk to him like that, but I'm just saying just have those friend
Intimate.
type of conversations.
Oh yeah, of course. Like intimacy, like the deepness. I need that because I'm a sapiosexual, as I think you are as well, right? So yeah.
What?
Sapiosexual, to where you have to be turned on mentally before you.
Yeah, you got to
turn-
stimulate the mind before
yeah.
you stimulate the body.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're on board.
Yeah. So, with that being said, how would you feel? How do you feel about if your man talks to you about another woman that he saw? Say she had some augmentations or something done, and he's like, "Man, you don't believe the craziest thing I seen today." Would you be upset with that? Would you be bothered? Would you be irritated? Like, well, why were you looking at her like that?
Just because you're in a relationship doesn't mean you go blind. You know, so you're gonna like
Okay.
see some. I'm gonna see a woman. I'm gonna be like, wow, look at her ass, like,
Okay.
or you know, but like it's not
And then
gonna
you
be.
look at him like, what do you think?
But yeah, I'll be like, oh damn, like, or be like, you like that? Or like, I would literally ask questions like, oh, you like that? And he'll be like, yeah, that's cool,
No,
that's too
that's
much,
a
or
trap
whatever.
right there.
Not for me because
don't know.
because if my man, like I said, so okay.
So what if he
this is
turned
the
around and was
question.
like, "Damn, that's the best ass I ever
can
seen
say
in the
something?
world"?
Well, can I say something? So this is what I'm talking about. So if I'm not secure in my relation, not as a person, but in my relationship, meaning he doesn't give me the validation I need,
Right.
and then he's validating someone else, and it's different. But
that's
if he's
different.
feeding me in that way,
Okay,
but
I
then
see
he's
your
talking,
point on
oh,
that.
that is the baddest
That's
ass
like a
I've ever seen.
trust.
If he said that, I'd be like, damn, it is. You know what I'm
It ain't
saying?
better than
Like.
yours. That's how you.
But he
follow
wouldn't
it
even
up.
have to say that though, because if it is, it is. You know what I'm saying? Like if
okay.
it is, it is.
Okay.
Because I can't be great with everything, but
thing
you know,
thangin', huh?
but she can't do what I do with you. You know what I'm saying? Like she can't treat you like the king that you are.
Right,
you know what I'm
right,
saying?
right,
Like she
right.
can't. So you know,
And your response?
I don't mind.
You don't
It's
mind?
not a big deal. If
Okay.
he's checking her out, I mean, but it's different though. If we're
What
like,
if he's
at
like,
well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If we're
So there's a look
Yeah.
and then there's gawking looks.
like there's like
the
we do
glance.
crafts.
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
Like
yeah.
if we're out at a restaurant and like I'm watching his eyes watch every ass that walks by,
Yeah.
and I'll be like, you didn't even say anything about any of those asses to me. So
right.
Yeah.
how come then
Right.
it's just like disrespectful
It's
at that
different.
point. But if you're pointing it out and I'll be like, oh yeah, like shit, her tits do look really good. Like she must have just got them done. You know, or like, oh yeah, her butt looks really good. I can admire people too.
Okay.
Yeah. But it also depends on the tone too. If you're trying to get a rise out of me because you feel like that's
yeah.
and then like if we're good, like let us be good when we're having these conversations, like, you know.
You can't have that conversation
Yeah.
when it's a bad moment. Like you just had an argument. Like, hey,
Yeah, I
babe, you
just
know
didn't
what?
Yeah, you're sitting in the awkward silence
Right.
after arguing. You're sitting there like this. You're like,
And that's why that girl had a
crazy
bigger ass than you.
what the fuck?
Oh my gosh. Right.
I just had to ask that question because a lot of people, a lot of women, and a lot of men have problems, right,
okay.
with having those type of conversations with their significant others. They think it's and I believe it. I look at it like this. You will always see somebody that's attractive 7 days a week, right? But that doesn't mean that you want to be with them.
Absolutely.
Because you see them as attractive.
100%.
Well, that's also, I mean, and that goes back to, I don't know if anybody here dates online, but I see a little bit of it's interesting because of the world we live in and things have developed. I'm not shaming anybody, but I think that it's dangerous. And I think that we're seeing a higher rate of cheating potentially on both sides because our mind is filtered to date based off of the exclusive, like, do I like the way this person looks or not? And then like relationships will just develop based off of that before you even really know somebody.
Yeah.
So then it's like, if that's your
Physical.
priority in a relationship exclusively, obviously you want to be very attracted to the person you're
Right.
with because you want to be honest about your
Yeah.
affirmations and stuff like that. But if your relationship is just based off of how attractive somebody is, there's a lot of attractive people.
Yeah.
But so you're saying
Especially in
that
California.
so you're saying that this is you said this is a trap for people that date online?
I just think that the shift that we've had with social media and like online dating and all that stuff. Again, I'm not condemning it because it's convenient. It's like, you know, a lot of people don't have other options to meet people, but
Leftovers.
I think it's causing.
I don't know that I mean, only because, so I've done both,
You say
right?
leftovers.
And I feel like for me, like, like I can initially maybe be attracted, but then also there's times where I've like maybe swiped right, like with the person that I'm dating now, like,
Yeah.
and I've never dated anyone like him that looks like him at all in my life, ever, you know? And like, I've you know, I like black men, but I, you know, just so happened to swipe on him, and I wasn't really necessarily attracted to him. But then the more we hung out, and
That's
like,
awesome.
So
the
it wasn't
chemistry
even about for him. It was, I don't know, because he's dated other like black women, but for me, I wasn't necessarily, and I would have never even thought it would have even
Yeah,
you know.
yeah, of course. And people can have types and stuff like that. I just think it comes down to like, what's your priority of being in a relationship? And, you know, my point is just that if you're just trying to find the most attractive person and that's your criteria of dating, I think that opens up a lot of risk for, you know, the fact that maybe like looking at other people all the time and, you know, checking somebody out every time somebody walks by, it's like, there's an issue.
Maybe for men though, but not for women. We're not looking for looks for the most part. When we're looking like, oh, he got a job. Oh, he got kids. Oh, he smoked. Oh, you know, like that's what we're looking. I don't date for looks. I don't. I date.
That's not a
all the
factor?
men, no. I would say it's maybe like 25% factor. I really don't date for looks.
That's awesome. I'm saying
So I
that's a
got
great.
hope.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
But to be honest, and also this, like I said, this is the youngest person I've ever dated because I've dated only like 40 and up. So this is like, and he's
Man,
only
you
2
done
years
switched
older
the
than me.
game up, huh?
So it's different on all levels, you know. So
Yeah. That's awesome. I mean, yeah, like I
that's
said, the online dating world has opened up a lot of possibilities for
Yeah.
people, and I think that's
I
great.
think if you limit yourself, man, you might miss that person. You know, that
That's
person
deep.
can come in all shapes, sizes,
Yeah.
you know, backgrounds.
I love that.
You know,
Yeah.
but most people, and I tell people this all the time. I say, man, you can spend your lifetime looking for love in your nationality, and you might not find it.
That's so deep.
Yeah.
That's so deep.
You know, some people are like, nah, man, I can't date outside my race. I'm like, well, you might be unhappy for the rest of your life because that person that's going to fulfill you, right? That person that's going to understand you the way that nobody else can understand.
This should be a topic of
Yes.
a whole podcast.
Let's set it up.
Interracial.
Yeah. We could add a
Let's do
lot.
it.
We could add a lot with Persian values and stuff like that.
A lot of different values.
Yeah.
So how Persian are you, bro?
Culturally,
Oh, just so,
Was it my camera? Yo, that is wild.
You know what I'm thinking it is?
3 weeks in a row.
I think it's because you got a lot going on, you know, with all your facial features and everything, that the camera's taking a long time to like, you know.
I think that's not what's going on. I think it's a direct attack on mine.
That's 3 weeks in a row, bro.
Yeah, no,
It really must have to do some with the white background or something.
could be.
Yeah. Anyways, how do you guys feel about this podcast?
Super fun.
It went good.
Yeah. And you guys would be down to come back?
For sure.
Okay, cool.
Depending on the scheduling, yeah.
Okay, for sure. Well, I need like more.
Need more sounds?
Buttons
Yeah.
over there, man. Let's go.
Just end it right now.